98.1 FM, the Urban Heat.
I adore you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Keep
not too
going,
many
man.
people can do that, man.
You got to give it to him, man. You're going to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? You
know
can't
what
just
I'm
give him
saying?
part of it. You got to give him the whole thing.
I adore
You know what I'm saying?
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You keep stopping, man.
You know you the.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I adore you.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my man, Rey Royale in the building.
y'all already
98.1
know, man.
FM, the Urban Heat. You're inside the ride, rocking out. What's up, Ray?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm a little upset. Dita just reminded me, man. Last night, I should have been up on the stage, man, up at Franklin Park, man. Shout out to Angelina, man, for ripping the stage down. I just seen the first half of the show. I seen the first maybe 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that was the reason why you came, because she definitely said that you were going to come up, but I guess she forgot to tell you.
Yeah. I wish she would have said something, because I was at the tent. When I was at the tent, I wish she would have said something to me, because, you know, she pulled me on stage the last time. But I should have known better anyway. You can't go to an Angelina show and
Right.
she ain't going to pull you up and
Absolutely.
show some love, man. But shout out to her, man, for I ain't never seen somebody with that much talent, right? She had one background singer up there and sung all them songs pretty much just herself, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the help of Ben, that's my bro.
Right.
But just the had the tenacity, and I don't think people understand how much that takes out of you to do a whole. She did like maybe an hour and a half, right?
She did an amazing job.
You know, and just
Amazing job.
you singing those up-tempo songs, you singing big records, that takes a toll on your voice, man. And she does that all the time. I don't think people really catch that grasp. Like, she's singing hour sets all the time. Yeah. So for her to her voice to still be clear and the clarity and everything be good, man. It was a good time. That was my first time up there. I've never been.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? But just, you know, it was super dope. Just, you know, the love of people knowing me and, you know, like, oh, man, you're going up there. And I'm like, you know, I'm here to support, man. But it's just a great feeling, man. And, I had fun, man.
Well, speaking about Angelina singing places, she's going to be singing New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We got the New Year's Eve event coming up.
Yes.
You know?
We'll both be in the same building. You know,
absolutely.
That's just what it is. So you know it's going to be a great show, man.
So let me be clear. It's a New Year's Eve event. It's 3 days, December 29, 30, 31.
Right.
Angelina will be singing on the 29th. So when you arrive, you will walk into an oasis with Angelina Hightower singing. It's going to be amazing.
Man, what else was popping, man? I know we got some other things going on, man.
Planning for New Year's Eve. I know a lot of folks don't like to plan early,
right.
But if you want to plan early, this is it right here. New Year's Eve, we're going to be down the Cape for 3 days, 29, 30, 31. And we have the famous, the incredible Mr. Cheeks, who's going to be with us down there on the Cape.
Let's also say the down to earth Cheeks, man. That dude is like a real cool dude, man.
Yeah, Cheeks is absolutely 100% one of the most realest individuals. He didn't let the fame go to his head.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't let the fame go to his head. I mean, he's known worldwide.
He definitely know the people.
And he come and talk to the regular people.
Right.
You
He
know
let
what
them
I'm
know
saying?
that the people put him there, and that's how you stay on top, man.
Absolutely.
People stay booking you, man, with that attitude, man. But I like the name too, Marv.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Urban Oasis on the Cape, man. I like that,
Yeah.
man. Like, it sound like something big, man. So
yeah, it's going to be an amazing time, man. It's
so
definitely going to be an
29th,
amazing time.
30th, and 31st, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, you know, I'm gonna do my best to introduce the crew. For all the youngsters in the building, during the 80s, there was a certain style of dance that was amazing. It was incredible. Mm-hmm. It was a certain style of dance that you absolutely had to have energy. You had to have strength. You had to have charisma. You had to have, you know, the ability to be able to you know, really mix it up. That style of dance was called breakdancing. And there were, like, everybody couldn't breakdance because I tried. And I wasn't good at it at all. I was
tried,
not good at all.
Marv?
I did try. I wasn't good. I actually sucked. You know,
man.
I tried to do this thing called the up rock, right? I sucked at that, and that was probably the easiest thing to do. Never mind windmilling and hand spin and head spin and all that other stuff. I lay on my back and just lay there. I tried to kick my leg up and spin around, and it didn't work. I just didn't move. So, you know, you had to leave it to the professionals. And there's some professionals in the building. These gentlemen are legendary. Right here from Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
I believe the members probably come from a lot of different places,
Right.
but they were based here in Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the legendary Floor Lords in the building.
In the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up? All right.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
We're doing
Right.
good, man. We're doing great, man.
All right. So,
good.
please, gentlemen, introduce yourselves as members of the Floor Lords.
Okay. My name is Lino. They call me B-Boy Lean Ski.
Okay. B-Boy Leansky.
I'm not a B-Boy no more.
All right.
I'm a B-man.
All right. Okay. All
All
right.
right, man. Next.
Okay,
Ooh.
and I'm the infamous Mad Mike,
Okay.
founder of the Floor Lords, 1981.
Okay. Look at
Okay.
you. All right, brother.
Wow.
Founder of the Floor
Founder.
Lords.
Okay.
So you the boss.
I'm the founder.
Okay.
So we
All
got
right.
some questions for you, brother.
Okay.
Some questions.
And the other two gentlemen over here.
Okay. Two more Floor Lords in the house.
Yeah, just go ahead and say your name. No, you gotta get close to the mic.
Yeah,
Don't
you
be
gotta
scared.
pull up, brother.
Wait a minute. Hold on. All right, go ahead now.
6-pack from old school back in the house, you know. I grew up with all these dudes, man, since I was like 9, you know, maybe earlier than that. But these are my big brothers, man, and I learned everything from them real fast into today. And I'm still glad to be here today, real fast. I love these dudes real fast, you know, and they still
Okay.
doing it.
Beautiful.
All right, there you go. 6-pack.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And
Yeah. Al Day. You know, excuse me, I'm an old, okay dancer, you know? I mean,
okay.
we go way back.
Do you
Floor
still
Lords all the way, brother.
do you still dance, man?
Yes, sir.
Can you windmill?
No, I pop.
Oh, you pop.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
wave.
Okay. And where you from?
Huh?
Where you from?
Okay, JP, you know,
Okay,
Peach
from
Street.
JP. Okay. And
Yes,
6-pack. Where you from, brother?
Heath Street, my man.
Heath Street?
all day, baby, right
Okay.
here.
Lino, where you from?
Oh man, I basically
Yeah.
grew up in I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
But I grew up in Four Corners and
Okay.
also on Lenox Street.
Okay. And Mike.
Okay, originally Roxbury, so St. Joseph's area.
Okay.
Lived all through Boston, from Roxbury all the way to Mattapan.
Okay.
So
Beautiful, beautiful.
Man, that's crazy.
How many members of the Floor Lords? You
It's-
guys are like a gang at one
There's
point.
probably there's probably like about 50 of us now because
50.
we never really stopped dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So from like the old members to now, you know, our crew kind of went from 81 to like this
now.
this generation now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we kind of like went with the time. You know what I'm saying? So when kind of like breaking died down, we kind of started hip hop dancing, kind of like doing like, you know, like all the 90s dances, you know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, 80s, late 80s
Late
dances.
80s, okay.
You know what I'm saying? 90 dances. Then it was a big freestyle type of sound that was out. We started doing those types of dances.
Right.
Then we went to house dance. Then just regular just choreography dance for different groups performing for a bunch of different artists. I mean, so many different people. Opening up with so many different people. And from there, we went back to breaking. So, you
Okay.
know, breaking is not dead. Breaking is very big. Like, it's huge. It's a huge thing. It's worldwide. So a lot of us have been traveling for a long time, you know. So we like not just, you know, we've actually traveled the world.
Okay.
A lot of us.
Cool.
And
So,
I think he lowballed the number over the time period, the course of the 4 decades, hundreds.
Hundreds of members.
hundreds of members.
Hundreds.
Yeah,
Wow.
probably.
Wow.
Yeah, probably hundreds.
Wow.
He's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you want to start the group? So you're one of the founders. So yeah, what inspired you to say, you know what, I want to build my own dance crew?
Okay, so back in the 80s, you know, hip hop on a whole was relatively new.
Right.
And we weren't using the term trending, but technically at that time period, things were trending. And the hottest dance on the scene was breakdancing,
Okay.
like Brother Marv said earlier. And it was just, for some of us, we took to it naturally. Right, like you said, Marv, you couldn't do it if your life depended on it. But for those that were in it, it came naturally. It was just a natural phenomenon at the time. And it was trending, the thing to do. And
So was it just from like watching Soul Train, or like was it just it was in the street, like how did I really want to hear the story.
It was all of that. It was like Soul Train basically, with lot of stuff from Soul Train, because that's where the popping stuff we really saw.
Right.
But like I'm originally from New York, so I would always go back and forth to New York. I had family members who were doing it.
Right.
The same thing with Mike. Like Matt also had very big influence, family from New York. So we kind of would see it all the time. Had family members that were teachers. Right. You know what I'm saying? But then it just kind of grew. It came out on That's Incredible. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was coming out in movies. It was just something that was kind of like he said, it was like trending. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we as group, and we also saw other dancers from here too. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the groups that inspired us was a group called the Funk Effects.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Funk Effects was like, one of the groups that inspired me and my brother. Actually, me and my brother, and we used to dance with Billy and Bobby, the Wonder Twins now. They call themselves the Wonder Twins. And then we actually went, I don't know if y'all guys remember Summer Thing, back in the day, Summer Thing.
Yeah.
They used to have the...
You're showing our age now.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he already killed that when he said that's incredible. He said that's incredible. I'm like, whoa. I know Ray doesn't know anything about that's incredible.
I was sitting there like, I was about to say, I was just sitting there like, huh? But you know what? I was going with it.
Come on now. So Summer Thing was it was like they had like this big yellow truck, and they had a stage, and you would have performances would come out, and the city would do this. So they would have this big yellow truck pull up at different parks.
See, it was popping when y'all was growing up.
Oh yeah, it was popping. It was popping, and bands would play. And so bands would play. So you had like groups like the Johnson Crew, Maurice Starr. He had his own funk band. So we ended up seeing a show at the Lee School. You know what I'm saying, on Talbot Ave.
Yep.
Is that Talbot Ave?
Yep.
Yes,
Right.
Okay. We ended up seeing Maurice Starr perform, and after he performed, the Funk Effects came on, and we kind of saw them dancing. They did like a routine. So after they got off stage, we asked them if they wanted to come down. When they came down, we asked them where they practiced at. They told us they practiced at Lee School, so we started going down there and practicing with them.
Right.
For a little while, we would go practice with them, but then we moved from Four Corners to. I'm just telling you my part. Then I'll let you tell his. He can tell his part. And then all of a sudden we moved to the South End, which is Hammer Street, Lenox Street, that area. You know what I'm saying? We moved down there, and then my brother had created a group called the New York Puppeteers. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that name.
Yeah. That was my brother. He was a New York puppeteer, and then he started with this other kid named Cisco and Mosby. Sorry about that. Tyrone Sutton and Mosby. They had a crew, and then Tyrone Sutton moved to Grove Hall, and they had a show coming up, and I ended up performing with them. This was like 1980.
Okay.
And then we just did like a talent show. We don't have talent shows anymore.
No more.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what
That's
it
a
was
loss.
back then.
That's a loss, man. That is.
Yeah.
I miss those, man.
But we're working on the
miss
comeback.
those. Yeah.
Of the talent.
Still
You
need
need.
those.
You need. You do. You really do.
Right.
I believe that wholeheartedly. That you do need talent shows, man. Those things will never get old to
Catch
me.
that talent.
Yeah, because we want to see the up and coming talent that's coming on now. In my day, you guys are a little bit older than me, but when I was coming up in the game, and I was in the singing group, so we were called 617.
Oh, I remember y'all guys.
Yeah.
So we used to do shows with you guys.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, okay. See. So, we would go around and we would, we wanted to find the other best singers in the town. and we would battle against them. You know what I mean? So was that like how the dance movement was going too back then? Like y'all was looking for who, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this person over,
yeah,
you know, because in our high school it was like, oh, yeah, it's this guy Ray who goes to English.
Oh,
and, you know,
it was
you know,
crazy.
was
I mean,
it
for
like that for y'all?
Oh, for us it
Yes.
was raw because we also came from different neighborhoods.
Right.
You know what I'm
see,
saying?
yeah,
So,
okay.
you know, where we came from different neighborhoods, you know, kind of set us really apart. And back in those days, it wasn't like, you know, it was real aggressive.
Right.
You know, like hip hop to these days is not aggressive like how it was back in the days.
Right.
It was like your whole community came out with you.
Right.
You know, when you went, there was certain places you went to. You know, it was like block parties, and then you would go to the Roxbury Boys Club or the YMCA. You know, different places like that threw on just different. So your whole neighborhood showed up to that.
Right.
So it was like raw because you never knew what was gonna happen at that point. You know
I
what I'm
always
saying?
say that was Boston is a little bit different now than it was
Oh,
before.
hell yeah.
Because even when I was when I was coming up, man, like I felt like the whole city was always out, man, when there was big events going on, and I did see that last night though. So I'm not gonna hold it. So we're on that uptake again. But we need to get it back there. You know what I'm saying? And I like the word you used too, like being aggressive and knowing. You know, knowing your audience, obviously, you guys, you have to know your audience when you're doing whatever you do. Yeah. But, you know, just having that community vibe is super dope, man. And it's probably because you guys were from different hoods that brought out all your friends and supporters and everybody that rock with you. Yeah. And just made it like a huge thing, man. So, it's super dope to hear that.
Let Mad, you know, talk about how he came up, and then we could kind of mesh, you know, how we
mesh
all
them
got
together.
Yeah.
Right, and like you said, Royal, at that time it was
wasn't
very
even
competitive.
hip-hop.
We were in a competitive world, let's say, in urban arts. In that,
It just
sense.
keep you sharp, though, right?
Yes, on your toes.
Yeah.
You know, we from Boston. We come from a home of champions.
Right.
You know, all of our teams were good.
Right.
Back in the day. So everything was very competitive, but in a good way.
Right.
In a good way. Sports.
I remember when you was a breakdancer, you used to have to carry your cardboard with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
but we
actually started on concrete.
No.
we were different. Yeah, we were
Okay.
floor lords. So
didn't do
any
it.
surface was the right surface. Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
We proved
Yeah,
it.
wow,
on cement,
yeah.
it didn't matter.
So that
Y'all was
kinda-
windmilling
that
on
kinda put
cement?
the name in
On
the
cement,
floor lords. Okay.
head spins.
Headspin.
Six
put
pack
that
actually
under
was the youngest member, and
And
the
he
main
was
attraction
he
at
was
the
doing
time.
head spins.
And he would do head spins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
known for
Incredible.
head spinning.
Yeah.
incredible.
All right.
Like the best in the city.
Right.
Okay.
I'll stay right
I
here.
listen.
I'll stay right there. I'll
believe
do
it.
it right here. I mean, I can't do
Like
it
you
no
said,
more.
he was
I'll
about
do it right here.
10 years old.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah,
he's
9
nine.
years old,
Yeah.
I
right?
remember that.
54
And
now.
technically, we were all youths in that sense of the word. I believe Cisco was the elder.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Now let's get back to the history of the Floor Lords, and like you said, Lino, he touched on him being a popper. That was a little different, you know, but still trending at the time.
Right.
And Cisco and I. So after Mattapan, like I said, I started out in Roxbury. From Roxbury to Columbia Road, Dorchester to Morton Street, Mattapan. Then I ended up in Randolph, Massachusetts. To Randolph High, right.
Okay.
So in Randolph High, back then, definitely,
You was the only black kid.
I probably was one of, I probably,
Especially at that time.
we could count.
Especially at that
We
time.
could definitely count, right.
Yeah.
In
Oh, in the 80s?
1981, man, probably one out of, 20-something. I don't think we topped 30.
Back then, you
And
might
that would
have-
include if you were Hispanic
Right.
or Asian, any brown.
Right.
Yeah,
That was
we
20
didn't.
white kids.
Right, we didn't top 30.
Actually, Portuguese.
In Portuguese,
I was
right.
about to ask him, did he have to dance his way out of school, man? Like,
Well, no. So what happened was Cisco was actually breakdancing. One day after school, I was on the way home, and something just told me to, instead of going home, just take a right. And I went around the opposite side of the school, and I saw Cisco He's supposed to be here right now, and he was practicing some moves.
He's on his shirt right there.
Right. Well, yeah, that's him in the silhouette. That's Cisco doing a windmill. And I walked up to him. I said, "Hey, man, what the hell are you doing?" But I thought it was cool. It looked cool.
Right.
It looked easy. I said, "Okay, let me start rocking with you." So Cisco and I would practice every day. From that day, we would practice every day together. So it was me and Cisco just practicing. And I would say probably a good 2 months down the line, I would have visions. I get a lot of visions, so they call me a visionary. And I said, "Hey, Cisco is half Portuguese and half Native American, Wampanoag tribe." And I said, "Hey, Cisco, I think we need a white guy," basically. So once I said that, that third member, which was the white guy, added the extra flavor.
Right.
Thus birthed the group.
Right.
Because we couldn't do it as a duo.
Right.
And
He was from Quincy.
And right. Yeah, he was from Quincy, Braintree, that area, side of town. Weymouth, what's that, South Shore?
Okay.
So to speak, right? And from there, the rest is history. But we prided ourselves on having the best of the best. And that's when Lino came along, Tron came along, and the family just continued to grow right from there.
Okay.
And like I say again, we were all youth. Cisco being the elder, I would say Cisco was maybe 15 at the time. So if he's 15, I'm 14. I believe I have a year or two on Lino. But definitely by the time Six Pack came along, he was the youngest.
Okay.
So to define us, the best word I use is FUBU, which we know what that meant, for us, by us.
Right.
Because we were youth.
Right.
No parental supervision, guidance whatsoever. When I say we were outside, how they say it today, we were literally outside back then. Everybody was outside back
Right.
then.
No doubt.
Right, right. So that term, it still sounds funny to me.
Right.
Because I'm like, okay,
We've been doing that.
Right.
Yep.
Right. It's funny to hear every time I hear that, but okay. But yeah, we were outside.
We just didn't have social media back
We
then.
didn't have social media.
That's the difference now.
The language
that's
was
it. Yeah.
different. I mean, these
Little
words
bit.
are still relevant, but
Right.
we weren't using them in that fashion. But,
Absolutely.
And then I decided I had another vision. I said, hey, so when I lived in Boston, I would always travel through downtown, downtown crossing, Annual Hall, and I would see certain buskers out there playing guitar or piano, doing different things. I would always watch them, and as a kid, you'd think that looks funny. Like, what are they doing out here with all this talent?
Right.
But when we started doing what we were doing, I said, hey, I think we need to take this show downtown and see what happens. Right. So, lo and behold, it worked.
Six Pack is
Right, it
smiling,
worked.
so it must have been
Right.
some good stuff.
And a big
For sure. And
Right.
that's
all my big brothers, man.
He was
I
downtown.
loved it. I
Yeah.
still love it.
That's
Right.
what we.
They don't do it no more.
Falling in his basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Jordan
what.
Marsh.
Oh, he knows. He
Yeah,
knows.
downtown crossing.
Yeah,
Right.
so
but
we-
they know-
Downtown crossing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we ended up meeting them. We went to it was an audition for some type of show or something downtown. And so what happened was me and my brother and Mosby got on stage near Puppeteers, and we went on stage and did our little set. When we got off stage, they were like, "Oh, back then it was like fresh. You guys are fresh.
Right.
Guys are fresh." So out of respect, we never saw them before. I mean, we knew them because we would see them at certain places, but we never saw them like really like performing. Like Cisco, I saw because we would go to Spin Factory and certain places, other places. You know what I'm saying? We would see Cisco and Tron. I seen Tron at all the different like block parties because we'd be in the same like cipher circle dancing together. You know what I'm saying? Like all of us. So we all kind of like knew each other. So they went on stage and they did their thing. So after they came off stage, they were like, "Yo, let's y'all want to come with us and make some money?" So at first, making money back in the days was kind of like, like
Any
out
day.
on the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's do it, baby.
So we were kids
Right.
at the time, like probably like 12. My brother's
yeah.
like 11.
Right.
We're like looking at them like, what? Like nah. They was, and so he was like, Mad was like, nah, just follow us.
Right.
So we went to Park Street Station,
Yeah.
and right in the station, right on the platform, they started making like, they put on the radio, started making money. So like 10 minutes, they came, they finished their little show, and they had like $50 a piece.
You split it
You're
up.
12 years old,
Yeah.
11 years old.
Yeah.
You see this type of money in 10 minutes. What
I
you gonna
remember
do?
that.
So we was like, all right, let's go.
Let's get it.
We were all
Let's get it. And so at first it was because we were kind of like shy, and it wasn't that. We knew a lot of people. A lot of people seen us at talent shows. We didn't really want to do it, but we were like, yo, we're making money. Forget
Right.
about what everybody else is talking about.
Right.
Let's get this money.
Right.
So we started performing together, and then my brother and Mosby started like making a little bit of money, and they would just go hang out in the community. So I would hang out with them. So it came down to a point where I started making up routines with them, because that was like our thing. Like nigga puppeteers have routines. We would do routines together. So we had like choreography.
Right.
With them, they just had solos. They
Right.
didn't really have like a show.
Like choreographed.
So when
yeah,
we all
yeah.
got together, we started making more money.
Right.
So when they kind of started like leaving,
Drifting
we
off.
started like making a little less money. So I was like, we're gonna have to stop putting some routines together. So then we started making routines up, and that's how we started making money.
Right.
And we started getting people like him, other dancers, Six Pack, and that's how it started growing. you
So
know.
how did you be
Hold
able
on
to,
1 second, Ray.
We are the Urban Heat. Expect the unexpected. Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Heat.a1fm.com and iHeart Station.
All right, go ahead, Ray.
All right. So what I was saying was, how did you be able to get in the group? Was it just the talent? Did you have to have a certain look? Like,
Well, no,
how was
it
that
was
about?
for us. Like I didn't want to go in the group because it was all about loyalty. But that's how the name came up, because we was a different name. We was MBT,
okay,
Right.
which was Massachusetts Break Team or Mass Break Team, something like that, right? That's what their team, and we was in the Puppeteers.
okay,
But we would go with them. So it was like they were like, yo, we should start, something. So it was a few other people that were also a part of different, crews, because it was just us getting together and just dancing,
right.
Yeah, we
But
love
then,
to dance.
I mean, like he said, him and Cisco kind of like took the weekend off, and they came back with the name. I thought it was him and Cisco that made up the name. I didn't even know Dave had a part of it too.
Yes, he did.
Maybe like a couple of years ago. Like I've always credited him and Cisco for years.
Right.
You know?
This is nice hearing this, because I'm a soloist now, but I came up in a group, and it's funny how the stories are pretty much the same. Like, you know what I'm saying, you all were doing your own thing at first, kind of, you know what I mean. Then you meet someone. That's kind of like what happened in my group. Like me and I was the founding member. Then I found one person, and then we connected, and then there was other people around the city that we was like, oh man, it would be dope if, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we put this one in, like, it'll be crazy. And then, you go somewhere, you go to another spot, then you're like, yo, but if we had him, like, we'll be real serious then. Like, so that's dope to, how it all comes together. Like,
But we were real serious about who was a part of the
Yes.
crew. Like him and Cisco was like not like you had to be up to par to really
Right.
be in the crew.
Best
like,
of the best.
That's
and,
dope.
and it
That's
wasn't
dope.
even it was like they looked at the people and really saw the talent, but not just that. Like we also catered to help them get better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We
That's
all
dope.
inspired each other
That's
to
dope.
become better.
Yeah, you got to
So I got-
push each other.
Yeah.
I got
so we-
comments on the live here, and I'm gonna tell you who said it afterwards. But he said, "Nah, we made money. Store 24, Farmers Market, and the game."
That's Tron.
Then he says, "Big shout out to the Floor Lords and good luck in the 2024 Olympics in Paris."
Yes.
Those comments came from Steve Burns.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's my homie
Yeah.
Steve. That's
That's our partner. That's right. That's
Right
our
back
brother.
at you, baby. Right back at you.
Yes,
That's
sir.
real fast.
That's dope, man. Like,
So-
you guys got a vibe, man. Go ahead, Marv. I'm sorry.
And then Roy, I
I'm
want to
just
let you
into
know,
this.
at that time, So when we were making that money, $50 may not sound like much, right?
Oh,
now.
back then it was a
we
lot.
Were making, we
It
were
was
making
a
like
lot.
$250.
Y'all were
a day
12
a
years
piece.
old, so
Right.
we,
Well, you got the. I'm touching on the economy side of it now. A soda was only maybe 25 cents,
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, so
But the
y'all,
thing
y'all
was-
was
You gotta
good.
think-
But the
Right.
thing was,
And the buses
that was in
only a
10
dime.
minutes. They made
Right,
it was like
exactly.
5. In 10 minutes, they
Wow.
made $50. a piece.
Yeah.
So every day we were walking home with $250 in our pocket.
Yeah.
Right, which was
And,
great.
and the craziest thing that it started with like maybe 7 of us,
Exactly.
and then it became like 12 of us.
Wow.
And, you know what I'm
So
saying?
it just
And
got
then
bigger
we-
and bigger.
And
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
became, then we were still all going home with
with money.
$250 a
Right.
piece at that age.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
we
I'm
moved,
saying?
we moved the show to Faneuil Hall.
Yep.
Oh,
So we were kind of
Yup,
the
it'd be
premier act
crowded.
right.
on the, I would say, the
Concrete.
west end of Faneuil Hall.
Yeah, on the
So
And y'all was
I-
y'all was smart because. Sorry, Marv, you go and then I'll
No, go ahead, go ahead.
And y'all was smart because y'all went to the area that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, technically for you, and crossed over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's smart, man.
But
So-
what we had was universal.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Right.
So
It
so
just-
I got a 2-part question. One, whose idea was it to go to Faneuil Hall? And that was you.
Yes.
So smart.
A smart guy.
So
dude.
smart to go to Faneuil Hall.
He was
'Cause
always-
you're getting the regular people and the tourists.
Yes, sir.
So it's very smart to do that. And when you guys went, did they ever give you a hard time about being out there?
From what I recall, not once.
Well, they
Well,
wow.
kind of
I
did.
think the restaurant. It was more so the restaurant.
Yeah. We they gave us a little problems
Yeah.
because we was also blocking off the walkway.
Right.
So then they moved us in front of the
On the
the
side.
rest on in front of the
Front
restaurant.
of the church?
Right.
Yeah.
What was that
The
restaurant
step.
called
I
at
don't
the
even know.
time?
I
On the
don't even know,
side.
but it was a restaurant right there.
It was on the side. Yeah.
They moved us in front of there because we was kind of like we had big
Yeah.
crowds out there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And we was blocking that
entrance was.
the entrance, like
They
the
kept coming.
walkway. And that was our dance spot
Well,
because
the
that was the
freedom. We
smoothest.
were on the Freedom Trail.
That,
Okay.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
okay.
the smoothest
Paul Revere
area
Freedom
there.
Trail.
You know what I'm saying? That was the smoothest concrete piece that we could
Right.
dance on.
Exactly.
You know, because the rest of it was like big
Cobblestone.
cobblestones.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
couldn't dance on that part. So they were
Right.
like, all right, y'all can move over here. So
Right.
we moved over there and we started dancing. The
It's
craziest
good,
thing
right?
that
Mind you, no license, no permits.
No
permits,
you.
no.
Wow.
Right, so this
so
is-
No.
y'all just doing
Right.
y'all
No
thing.
helmets.
Right.
I remember
So y'all
I
were
was
practicing. So
man.
y'all basically was practicing every time y'all was on.
Every
every
move
time.
we
That's
made.
crazy.
Yeah, practice. Every move we made was
That's crazy.
and
practice.
then
Yeah.
he,
Right.
you know, how we moved into doing shows through
Right.
him again.
And
You know
Cisco.
what
And Cisco too, yeah.
Like our
Right.
first show was a wedding that he got us
Wow.
at it was the Randolph Holiday Inn right
Right.
by
Oh,
the
yeah.
what's the
Yeah.
name of that club there?
Vincent.
Vincent's, yeah,
Vincent's,
right there. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
there used to be a thing there. You know, that was our first show. We went
Right.
from dancing the street
Right.
to getting paid for a wedding to go
Right.
dance at a wedding. And then we started booking more shows on the street. But then, you know, people started asking us to perform.
Right.
This is how we moved into just strictly performance.
Right.
Was people started asking us to perform, and you know we'd be like, okay, we'll dance at your show, and they'd be like, all right, how much y'all charge? And we would tell them how much we charge. We'd be like, well, we can watch it for $1. So that kind of switched us off. Like, all right, you know what? We got to get off the street now. 'Cause now they,
Man,
now,
listen,
now
that
they-
transition.
Now they're
Right.
trying to, you know.
It's
coin
becoming
us
a
to just
business
be
now. It's
business.
becoming
Yeah,
a business
now
now.
they're coining us to be, you know, street dancers. We can't perform, but we were actually performing. We were actually
Right.
doing routines.
Right.
You know, we were actually we were going to rehearsal spaces. You know,
But you know what?
community
Shout out to
centers
y'all
practice.
for, and I say this to all artists, up and coming artists or whatever. Shout out to you guys believing in yourself, right? To even take that leap, because some of us, we love what we do so much that we go, all right, man, it's cool. Like, just give me $50. Nah, no, because
There you
the work that you put
Tell 'em,
in
Ray.
to build a show,
Tell 'em.
to have your outfits, to travel to where you're going, it all costs, man. So shout out to y'all for that, man. Seeing the value in what you guys brought to the table, and people got to pay for it, man. Like that's just what it is. If you enjoy what's going on, you have to pay something for it.
Yes.
If you go in any establishment, right, we can't go and sit down and eat and not for free. You can't do that for free. So
You
if
got a
want,
tip.
you know. So
when you
it's
got a
it's
tip.
all about that, man. So man, shout out to y'all for that, man, for knowing that. And I know when you young, you don't really see that because
Well, I mean, that was like our mentor right there. Mad was the mentor. Like him and Cisco was like we were just. I was
Mad was kind
quiet.
of like the Michael Bivens of the,
Oh yeah, for sure.
of the
He
dance.
always
Okay.
he
was
was
the
the
businessman.
one who him and Cisco, which Cisco should be here soon. I hope.
Right.
Yeah, he'll be here soon because he told me he'll be here. He was the one who was him. Both of them, like we looked up to them. We were younger than them, so we just was like, whatever y'all want to do, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they was kind of like driving us. Then, you know, Little Wild Mad went to school. He graduated high school and he went to school to L.A.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Took it west. Yeah.
Okay.
UCLA, and that didn't even stop.
Yeah, man. I lived in LA for 8 years, man.
Oh, really?
8
Okay,
years,
beautiful.
man. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, going to the West Coast is different, huh?
Yeah, it's
This is in the 80s.
Definitely from Boston, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna show you. Yeah.
This is in the 80s, but
Right.
don't even think that he wasn't even setting up stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Full
You know,
Lords West.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
we was going out there and doing shows at a young age too.
Wow.
You know what I'm
that's
saying? We were
crazy.
going out. He was like
That's
setting
dope.
up like high school shows, like college shows, because he was in school. So he had you know what I'm saying, hookups like that. He was.
Right.
We all went out to LA. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Me and
there were-
this guy
Yeah, we almost got killed
telling
out
you.
there. What are you talking
me and him
about?
almost got killed out there.
I mean, I'll tell you, man. The first time you come off the plane to LAX, man, you feel like a totally different person. I know I do.
Yes.
I feel like every time I feel like a totally different individual, man. It's just an inspiration comes over me, man. I'm just inspired. Like, yo, let's just go do it, man. Let's just go. I don't care where we going. I remember when I was in my crew, man, and we went to New York, man. We was just singing in front of the BMG building. We didn't care who came out. We didn't care.
Right.
But we ended up meeting Puffy that day, man. You know what I'm saying? So like, the persistence,
I'm gonna tell you,
man,
I'll tell you
happens,
some crazy
man.
stories. His father used to work for Amtrak. I'm gonna tell you how raw we were. We would jump on the Amtrak
Freeloaders.
to New York. To New York, we're like 13, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Get
Still
on
you,
the-
mind you.
Yep.
Get on the Amtrak. Not even pay the Amtrak. We would go in the bathroom, hide in the bathroom,
Right. Till the conductor.
till the conductor comes, take all the tickets,
Yep.
come out when he's at, and drive, go all the way to New York, hang out in New York, go shopping, go dance, go different places, and come back the same way.
He
He was the only one who had a ticket. He was the only,
Right.
and he's the one who
One
taught
ticket.
us how to do it.
Yo.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So we were wild. We were like just wild.
Man, this is a great interview
Well,
for me, man.
we were
'cause,
living, yeah, for real.
this is a
We
great
were-
interview for me, man, because I did all this stuff that y'all are talking, man. Like the same things, man. So
Wow.
it's man, having that brotherhood, man, is so
I mean,
special, man.
and
Doing
it's-
it.
and it's
Brotherly
still-
love.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's amazing to be like we've been around each other for like 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 40 something years.
Wow.
42 years.
42 years.
Wow.
You know what
Still
I'm
love
saying?
each other.
Right.
And
see.
we
It's a
all
family.
like
Yeah,
help
family.
each other.
Yeah.
We all do for each other. Like it's like anybody needs something.
Yeah.
If someone got it, someone's gonna help out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have always just been there for each
So,
other.
Matt, you've seen this from what I'm gathering is you've seen this from a business standpoint, just coming out the gate. So, sort of,
kind of.
So,
right.
Let me know, like, once it really clicked into you, like, all right, we can make money off this. When did the transition come to, like, now it's time that we bring this to the stage and that's it? We're not doing the street thing like that no more. We're gonna be on stage and this is what we do. We're the floor lords. This is who we are.
Well, that like Lena was saying, that transition kind of.
Was that late '80s or was that '90s?
No, that was there. That was
still
like,
early.
It was early, yeah, but
It was
we
like
still
80, 84, 80,
84.
84, 83, 83.
right. Well,
It was
that's
83.
when we started, right? Because the audience,
Mm-hmm.
we met a lot of great people networking with us. I mean, out of this world,
right.
from all over the world. So
Right.
we're networking with people from all over the world, and like Lena was saying, we got so many offers
Mm-hmm.
that. Thank God, when Lena and them did come along with the choreography part and we started tightening up the show, yeah, we were ready. So that was another organic, natural
Piece of it.
occurrence
Right.
that was happening. So you're just gonna grow, you're
Right.
gonna evolve
Exactly.
anyway.
Of course.
So it all came naturally, but we did still have love for the street.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
for
you
sure.
know, the street being the buskers, the
Right,
street
right,
performers.
right.
Because I believe we also took the show to Harvard Square
Oh yeah,
too.
yeah.
wonderful.
So we
Yeah,
switched places.
yeah.
So we
A few
switched
times.
places. That's true. We ended up switching
Right,
places. He's
we-
right.
right. So-
Yeah,
He's
we
right.
did a few
So
times.
he
For
was
Harvard
like,
Square,
all right,
is that
you know
profitable?
what?
Right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What,
Yeah.
more profitable than Faneuil Hall?
I can't say really one place was more. It was
Yeah.
all good at that time.
Yeah, it was
But I can
all
imagine
good.
that you're
Right.
bringing
It
in
was
a
all
different
nice.
audience each
Yeah.
time. You know,
Yeah, right.
I can
So,
imagine that though.
Right.
It
right.
just gave us like
Exposure.
more exposure in a different
Yeah.
area, and it wasn't. A lot of Boston people weren't going in Harvard
Yeah.
Square, so
Right,
a lot of
right.
like
In
the
the city.
promoters
Yeah, right.
and a lot of people that were booking shows
Right.
weren't really going to Harvard Square to hang out. So
Right.
that cleared us from. So now we can go back to Boston, do the shows,
Right.
and then we can go hit in Harvard Square where we're not going to see too many promoters.
So y'all was ahead of
Right.
the trend.
Yeah,
Y'all-
yeah,
y'all-
yeah.
y'all-
He was
y'all
ahead.
ahead.
That was
Y'all
him.
y'all
Well, I
ahead
get
with
that. I always give
By the
Him and
train
Cisco,
station.
like
credit to my
Remember the train
both of
station?
my grandfathers, my mom's dad and dad's dad. They were both self-made millionaires, but in a time where it was even harder for a black man. So
Right.
you got to think back to the 40s,
Right.
50s,
Ooh,
right? So
Yeah.
I always had that business.
mentality.
I mean, you have to have that.
My DNA.
Somebody
You gotta
has to
have that
have that.
mentality.
Let's just put that on the table. Somebody, when
Right.
you have a crew, when
Right.
you're in a group, whatever setting, somebody has to have that business mind.
Right.
Because everyone else is just like, I want to make it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to be good at what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
The door.
Everyone else is like, I want to be good at what I do,
Right.
but you got to have someone that pulls it in,
business, yes.
that pulls it in and go, all right, this is what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember times when I was in my crew, man, we just loved to sing, so we would sing anywhere, anytime, man. I used to ride the Orange Line from Forest Hills to Oak Grove, singing all day, all day, man, all day,
that's crazy.
all day, man, because I was young, man. I was probably, man, my mom ain't here. Rest in peace to her, man. But if she heard me, she'd probably kill me. Because I was 12, 13 years old doing that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was who I was singing with at the time, he was going to school in Oak Grove.
Right.
So again, that brought us to a whole nother different audience.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
You-
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for
So
sure,
we're going
yeah.
up there and we're singing for all
That's
these
like,
line girls and
man,
stuff.
where's that?
And they're, and they're like, whoa, you know. And it just this is I love this interview, man, because it's super dope to hear how it happens. You know what I'm saying? Because people, they get so stuck on what they see. Like after, like people love 617 when they seen it. It's like, oh God, you know,
They
but
didn't
you
see
don't.
the hard
know-
work
They didn't
and
see
the
how it came
behind the
together,
scenes.
and you know, you start out with certain members, and then sometimes people drop off, or you gain people.
Oh, yeah.
and it was all just really fun, man. And I think what I love the most about it, and even I feel this vibe with y'all, and I don't know y'all at all.
Yes, sir.
It's the brotherhood.
Right.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? That's what I miss.
And I mean that's what I love to dance and love to teach. So that was my thing. My
Right.
thing was like, let them do their part. They're getting the shows.
Right.
I'll help the group do routines. And
Right.
it wasn't like I was the one making up all the routines. There was cats helping out too.
Right.
But I just I had the more knowledge on doing that type of stuff because I came from that background. You know.
So
Funk
everybody
Effects
got
was
a
my
part.
biggest inspiration.
Right.
You know, even when we first came out, people were comparing us to them because they taught us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we started flipping. We started kind of mixing in the breaking into the popping. Instead of they would lock and pop, we would break and pop. So that's how we kind of separated.
Yeah.
But with us, that's how we kept the group going because it was like people were, you know, there were people who was like, oh, we can't keep up, we out, you know. But I was the one kind of like, okay, we got this new kid from the community,
Right.
you know, boom, boom. So we started putting in other people, you know, because we started teaching. I would go, I lived in the community. And back then we could travel everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we could go
Exactly.
practice in everywhere. JP, Dorchester, Roxbury, you know what I'm saying?
What-
Everywhere.
This is refreshing to hear somebody say, teach it.
Yes.
yeah.
Because most people, if they got it, want to keep it to themselves.
Nah.
So you know what I mean? Like that. Let's be honest. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's
so
the
when
reality.
somebody is willing to teach and willing to to give opportunity, and this is what this man right here always does for anyone that he knows.
Yeah.
Always gives the opportunity. So that's super dope, man. To hear y'all talk about that.
Yeah, man, that
That's
was the biggest.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
That was our biggest. That's what kept the group going for so many years. Was, you know what I'm saying? Like Cisco, after he moved to California, then Cisco was the one who was here. I mean, we would go. You know, California wasn't like we could always go to California.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then plus he was in school. He started, going back to school. Started doing, different things.
But
so
he was
Cisco,
setting up the West Side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask this question. So, you guys, you started the crew. You started to build it up. That was during a time that you had movies like Wild Style, Breaking, and all the multiple franchises of Breaking that came out.
Yep.
When you saw those movies, did you feel like that could be us? That should be us?
For sure. That inspired us. We
Absolutely.
were actually
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
we were actually after we saw especially Breaking. When Breaking
Breaking.
came out, we weren't real. We were like kind of upset. Like Beat Street was kind of dope.
Right.
Wild Style was like. Actually, it was another movie called
Crush
Style
Groove
Wars.
and
That
Style Wars.
we saw that before on Wild Style. So
Okay,
Style
what was it
Wars
called?
came on,
Star Wars?
Style Wars.
Star Wars.
And that came on TV, and it was more graffiti, what they call graffiti, like art. We call it writing now, but writers, writing on trains, but they also had little bits and pieces of breaking and rapping in that too. So we saw that first. Then we, you know what I'm saying? Then Flashdance was like kind of like the movie that came out that kind of like opened it up for us to really come out and
They set
really
it off.
set it off. You know what I'm saying? That's when we were out in the street.
And then be like, we can hit the TV screen with it.
Because a lot of us were doing it, but we were kind of like not doing it hard.
Right.
But when it started getting more commercialized,
Right.
that kind of blew it up. Then Wild Style took it to the next level.
Yeah.
Then Breaking was like, to us it was kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just corny to us. We were kind of East Coast.
The first Breaking was corny?
Yeah. That was
to us.
To us.
In the East.
Yeah.
In the
So
East.
I thought the
poppin',
first one was good, but then I thought
The
all the
second
other
one-
ones after that, I was just like, y'all overdoing it now.
Yeah,
That's
you just
too
said
much.
it was. I mean, for us.
Yeah, but we went in.
Yeah, but for
We went
like
in.
for popping the robotic dance and the fluid dance,
great.
like it was incredible.
Yep, great.
But just the acting, just the way things were to us, we were like,
So you said
wasn't
that
real.
Lino, that you don't break, you pop.
no, I break, I
You
pop,
pop.
I break, I lock, I do everything. I hip hop.
Okay,
dance.
so can we get a sample of what you do? You ain't got to do no head spins or nothing, but you just back up. Stand up and back up and do like a pop or a lock or something.
You might have to give him a sound.
Oh, yeah,
Huh?
I'm gonna need
Give
I
him
need
some music.
You need some music? What you need? What you need? You need Planet Rock?
Oh hell,
You need
no.
play at your
Yeah.
own risk?
Yeah.
Okay, you
Planet
saying
Rock.
no. He said yeah. What we need? You need
Planet Rock.
Planet Rock?
Play some 90s hip hop.
90s.
90s hip hop.
Boston
Let me see
Zone.
here.
Who you got?
Hold on here. Let me
Uh-oh,
just see
man.
here.
Right.
Talking about some 90s hip hop.
Yeah,
I don't.
man.
You gotta be specific about who you want.
Oh man.
I got play at your
Yo.
own risk. I'm going back.
about
you know,
TSK?
Old school.
Oh, you can put on some Zap. I'll dance off some Zap.
That
You got some
I
Zap.
can make you dance.
I can make you dance. Hell
right.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
my-
All right.
Let's get it, Lino.
All right.
Let's
so look,
get it.
y'all about to see my man
Four
Lino
decades.
get busy over here on the Urban Heat.
Oh, I might.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do this.
Oh, you got. Wait, you gonna jump into it? Go ahead, man. All right, y'all.
Okay.
The legendary Floor Lords. Yeah, man. You had to be on the live to see that.
Hey, my man right here, the yellow and black man, he was feeling that.
Yes, sir.
He was.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
You ready to get busy?
Yo.
That's a
Ready
Y'all
to
got
get
busy up in here, man.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So I could,
legendary Floor
so
Lords.
now I got the vision, right? So now I can imagine y'all 12, 13 doing this, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
Now
like
I can
that.
see it.
Ain't
I
no-
can see
no
it now.
Yeah. So, Mike,
Yes, sir.
what's your specialty?
Well, I was a break dancer.
Okay, so
Yeah, that
you on
was
the
my
floor.
thing. On the floor.
On the
Yes,
floor,
sir.
you doing head spins and all that.
Yeah,
Windmills.
Windmills, yeah.
Can anybody
Footwork.
still do head spins now?
Yes, of course. We have plenty of members that can do
Okay.
it. Right.
But
Me,
y'all
I have
don't
been
do them no more.
inactive. Right.
Okay.
I'm pushing
And-
60 almost. So.
6-pack. I know you ain't doing no head spins no more, dog.
All right. Member in the house.
Sit over here on this side, bro. No, he's over here. Sit over here on that side. Yeah.
This is Air Flare just joined us.
in the house. Thank
Okay.
you guys for having me. And
How
I
you doing,
apologize
brother?
for being late.
It's
Okay.
all good.
Oh, traffic was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I like my man right here. He came in branded. See, that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Floor
what I'm
Lords,
talking about.
Floor Lords in the house. What's
Okay,
going
hold on.
y'all?
Let me see. You guys sit on the other side, bro. Because
Huh?
I got your name
Yellow
set up,
seat.
so you guys sit on the
Oh,
other
you do?
side.
Okay.
Right
Oh,
there.
man.
One seat over. No, that
y'all
side, you're
switch
good.
seats. Y'all
But just
switch
switch seats with him.
Okay.
And then when Cisco comes, he'll sit next to you.
Yep.
But yeah,
All
my
right.
plan, Marv, is to
Slide this
Come on
way.
here.
Slide this way. Air flare. This
Air
way.
Flare in the house, a.k.a.
All right.
Boogie Down.
There you go.
Right.
Dorchester,
All right.
Roxbury,
Go ahead, Mike.
Geneva Ave, Interville. How you guys doing?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
That's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
it's to make a debut for our 43rd anniversry this year.
Okay.
So you may catch me on the dance floor one
Uh-oh.
more time.
All right.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Mo D said, tell Lino and Mike, I said, what's up?
Okay.
Oh,
peace
tell 'em
peace
I
and
said
love.
what's up. Peace and love.
Yeah. So now
Stephen
so now-
Burns said, "My body sore just watching them."
All right.
So
sorry,
now
brother.
the craziest thing, right?
Catch your name.
Craziest thing
Oh,
I
my
got.
name's Rey Royale, brother.
Ray Royale.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I got to tell y'all now the craziest thing, right? I've been knowing Air Flare for years,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
For years,
Yes,
and
sir.
I had no idea
Yes, sir.
that he was a breakdancer.
Surprise.
None, zero,
Well, he was
none.
He was one of the most creative in our crew back
Yeah.
then.
And I mean, look, we're just, it's just so crazy, right? Because so how we all like connected and everything. Kathy Kim came. Now I remember, if I'm not mistaken, so to me that's Reg.
Yeah, that's
right.
Always.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Always.
and it's like it's coming back. Did we talk about this your dance group a long time ago?
No. You know what we talked about? A long time ago, I was supposed to invest.
Okay.
We two had a conversation about investing in this radio station.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Okay.
At that time, I was on a little hiatus
Okay.
from the dancing, man. From the
Okay.
crew. You know, I was out there doing my own thing, which is
Okay.
a story in itself. But,
Right. 'Cause I know at one point you had like a cleaning company, right?
Oh, I did, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I sure did.
So, it's almost. I feel like we had a conversation, but okay. So, Kathy
Might have
Kim,
touched a little bit of it.
Kathy Kim, talked to me, and she was like saying the name, right? And she said Boogie Down, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. He's like, she said he knows you, and I'm like, I don't know who Boogie Down is.
Yep.
And then she mentioned Air Flare, and I'm like, I don't know who
didn't
that
know.
is.
That was
And then she
foreign.
says Reggie, right? And I'm like, I don't know, because I'm not associating him
Still didn't know.
with breakdancing at all, right?
Right.
So finally, Kathy gets us on the phone,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh. And my mind was so blown because I never associated him with breakdancing
Right.
at all. We used to go over his house on Geneva Ave when we was kids, me and my brother.
Wow.
You know, and it was crazy. I just
My
never
best friend, still
knew,
my best friend.
you know, that he did breakdancing. So, you know,
Oh, he
it
was
just
amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
pulling this whole thing together, you know, I guess it was time. You know, so yeah,
This
this
has
is
been a
amazing.
dope interview, man.
Well, you're
Yeah.
seeing how the universe works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, absolutely.
It's been a dope interview, man, because
Absolutely.
again, for me, man, I love to hear the camaraderie, man, the brotherhood of this. Now we heard from Lino, we heard from Mike. Now, Air Flair, I want to hear from you, like your beginning stories on breaking into dancing and like how did you get with these guys right here and how did y'all just put it all together, man?
So Lino was the one that brought me in.
Okay.
You know, me and Lino had grew up around the same neighborhood, around Geneva.
Okay.
Four Corners, Field Corners. And, you know, see, my story may be a little bit different from theirs. But
Okay, hold on
we
one
all
second.
have the same
You got
stories.
slide over this way a little bit more closer to the
Okay.
mic, 'cause we gotta hear you. You kind of.
We all had the same stories. You know what I mean? There's always been some diversity, man, in everybody's story.
Right.
So I came up in a rough neighborhood. You know what I mean? And I was part of being one of the rough people. And you know, I had known Lino all my life, just like I know Marv.
Right.
And you know, I was dancing with my cousin, whose name was Errol Soap. They called him Errol Soap. And we went to a club, Club California, I think it was. And Lino, he, you know, so he said, "Hey, Raj, man, what are you doing?" I said, "Man, listen, man, I'm out here chilling." You know, at the time, I wasn't really thinking about breakdancing as really being like something that I really wanted to do.
Right.
But when I started hanging out with these guys and they recruited me, you know, breakdancing was like my solace. It was my peace, you know what I'm saying, from all the madness, man, of the streets of Boston, man. So, you know, because it was my peace, I took it kind of personal, and I always, you know, every time I would get around them, I wanted to be better, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be each and every time, because I was amazed at the things they were doing.
Right.
And it's so funny, man, because they're always saying that I was the best guy in the group, right? But when I look at it, I'm like, man, I was over here mimicking you guys. You know what I'm saying? You guys were the one that was teaching me.
Right.
So
he was just the most creative. I thought, you know, he would just go home every day and come back with like 2 or 3 new moves. Like for us, that was kind of hard.
Talk right in the
That
mic.
was kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? To just come out
Right.
every day and just come up with some new moves. Like for us, it, you know, we would probably come up with maybe a couple of moves a week. This guy was coming home every day, you know, every day with like 2 or 3 moves. So we were like, yo,
That's crazy.
what the hell? You know what I'm
But
saying?
he just put it out there on why though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because he was looking up to y'all and going, hey,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
wanna
he
be-
had a bunch of
I
people,
want to be
sure.
prepared. You know what I mean? Like so, and man, again, man, this is super dope, man. Like for
Absolutely.
real, and the longevity in this is even more crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm not a dancer. I'm a singer, but
Right.
it's the same. It's the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah.
it's the same thing, man. And just hearing y'all's story, I love this story, man, because you know, even all of us, we had different ways of coming up, man. You know what I mean? But when we got in that practice area,
Yep.
it was all about what we was doing, man, and we loved it. And I could still see on everyone's face in here, y'all still love it.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all,
love it,
y'all
man.
still
I
love
love
it.
There's
It's,
no, there's
To
no,
hold your passion that long, it's hard. Especially we from the Bean, yo. The Bean can break you down and make you
That's
want to
right.
quit, make you never want to
Listen,
do
bro.
what you do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what
Prime
what that was
example.
for us though. Traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting outside of Boston. Because being stuck in Boston was kind of like a different thing. Like, you know, we had a bunch of rivals. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got rivals, so you have a bunch of rivals. But another thing about that is also like we just seen our rivals all the time. So none of us is getting better because, you know, we're getting, you know, our time just being around each other. We're not growing as we get older. You know what I'm saying? It gets, dance gets harder. You know, creativity gets harder. So you have to travel to get out and get that creativity from someone else,
Yeah, you're so
somewhere
much
else.
right.
See the
You know what I'm
world.
saying?
Yeah,
so
man, you gotta see the world. You definitely do. I
So-
felt like you get better. Like I felt like me as a singer, I got better once I got out of Boston and I started going other places and seeing how other people was moving. Like,
yeah,
mm.
so that's why we started traveling. We started traveling to New York a lot, going to New York a lot. Then from New York, you know, we started going to LA. You know what I'm saying? We start seeing different
and
things.
y'all was hitting the prime targets of where you should be in
yeah.
entertainment. New
Oh,
York,
Right.
LA.
Yeah,
You
so
know
we
what
were
I'm saying?
doing all these different things, and then, you know, we would come back home, and New York was a hop skip. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? That was
exactly.
like a hop skip for us. Like
Right.
jump on the train. We ain't paying for this shit.
No swearing.
We ain't paying for the train. We going to New York for free. So we just had it. We just had it like a lot. We never got caught doing it. So that was like one of the things we would do. And then we would come back and inspire the rest of the crew.
Right.
So that's how they were getting better because we was getting better. One of our biggest inspiration was another breaking crew called Incredible Breakers in New York.
Okay.
Not to say that like people like New York City Breakers, Rocksteady, Magnificent Force, and who else? Dynamic Rockers weren't people that we kind of saw on TV, but when we started hanging with Incredible Breakers, they kind of like were on a whole different level for us.
Incredible.
And they were incredible, to us. They were doing stuff that people are doing now, which now the dancers are doing some amazing, outlandish, crazy things now, around the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, back then they kind of inspired us. So it kind of, we were ahead of our time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for us, it wasn't just about doing the moves. It was about the dance.
Right.
So we weren't just like doing a move. We were dancing with the move. Yeah. That was the biggest part. Like we took everything like traditional.
Now, did people ever try to seek y'all out to like dance behind them? Like,
Yeah, we performed for so many groups in the 90s, late 80s. You know what I'm saying? We opened up for, we used to dance for TDS Marv.
Okay.
This other group called Brothers Grip.
Okay.
Who else? We opened up for so many different groups.
Tron, especially Tron.
Tron and Shallow, who were other members of our crew. We opened up for everyone. I mean, back in the days, we would get in all the concerts because him and Cisco would go to all the concerts and get us in for free. We would show up. We had these jackets called the California Floor jackets.
Club California.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we would show up to concerts in the back, and these guys, they would talk their way into all different concerts. We'd be in the concert, we'd be performing on stage with people. You know what I'm saying? Just because them two talking to them, getting us in for free.
Let me ask a question. I'll go around the room, right?
Yes.
Favorite show all time, if you can remember. Favorite show.
I think my favorite show was a show that we created called Floor Lord, which was my favorite show. Not because it was a play that we put together, and it was something that we actually all worked hard for 2 months to put together, and it was a 2-hour play about the history of hip hop. So to me, that was my favorite. But I mean, I definitely have like favorite shows.
Yeah, is it? Do you guys have like a monumental show? Like I know one for me was when I went to Apollo. That was my. I did Apollo Live. That was like, holy crap! Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the day that I was like, I could do this for real. You know what I'm saying? Because New York don't like us like that anyway.
Yeah.
So you got a Boston person up in there, and if you getting love like that, so do y'all have somewhere like? Even if it was in Cali or
we have so many amazing moments like that.
Can't hear you.
Oh, Bobby Brown and them.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up like with the New Edition. You know what I'm saying? Like so the thing about, I mean, that's not even nothing that, I mean, that might be something big, to him. But I'm sure like we did shows with Rakim, with. So I can't even name half. I mean, you would have to go on our website.
So it's like a part of the. So it's a part of the journey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What I recall though, I think the big show we did at City Hall Plaza might have been the first
with the Fat Boys. With the Fat Boys, yeah.
Was it Fat Boys
and New York City Breakers?
Was it
Boston?
Was it Boston University at that time too?
That was
we did
two
a big
shows.
show, right? We did a couple, right?
So that was 2 shows. So we did a show when Doug Flutie and then was going to this is back in the day.
Doug
Flutie was a quarterback, and they were doing good, and they did a big show in City Hall. This was like 84 or something. It was 84 because I got the that was 84. It was 84. We did a big show for him. Then the second big show was when Beat Street came out. No. Yeah, it was Beat Street. Was it Beat? It was Beat Street. But they had the Fat Boys come up and do a show. So the Fat Boys and the dancers, the New York City Breakers, came up to City Hall, and it was like a big hip hop show. They had like all the breakers from Boston perform.
Right.
and we ended up doing an amazing performance.
Man, I
know
tell
what I'm
you,
saying?
right? Them New York City breakers, right? They was kind of my inspiration too, because I wanted to get in their behinds, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted Boston to be on the map so bad, and that was probably one of the reasons why I practiced so hard, man.
Right. You know what? That's
I wanted to
so
take that
dope,
smug
man.
face off. You know what I'm saying?
That's so dope,
Honestly,
man.
that's just being honest.
Listen. I feel you, brother, because I myself have felt that same way when you see someone and go, yo, I know what I'm capable of, and this needs to be in front. This needs to be in the mainstream. Everybody need to know about this, man. So
I could say we had a lot of moments like that in New York.
Yeah,
I remember for a
dope.
time we were going to New York and smashing all the dances in New York. And like just not that we were, you know what I'm saying? We were just a family. We was connected. We was connected with each other. So for a long time, we were going to New York and winning a bunch of different competitions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we weren't really even competition heads. We just used to go to New York just to go in the circles and dance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we started out of nowhere, just started entering competitions and winning all the time.
Right.
And you know, there were a lot of younger dancers than us. We were older, and then the younger kids that were around us kind of like learned from us, so they were dancing like they were older. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
of course.
we had what the older dancers, you know, these guys who he's talking about, New York City Breakers, like who were judging these competitions, going, damn, these guys is like bringing everything. They're bringing the fire. They're bringing, you know. So we got to really like, you know, bring it home for Boston a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? One of the most popular groups in the whole breaking community, which they were in Wild Style, they were in Style Wars, was the Rocksteady crew. You know what I'm saying?
I remember the
They're
Rocksteady crew.
They're the biggest crew, Crazy Legs, and everybody knows who Crazy Legs is, even though they don't even know. They know who he is. And we did a show with them in New York one time for this magazine, and it was MOP and us. You know what I'm saying? So we were performing. We weren't going there to compete against nobody. It was just a show. They booked us to do a show. We go to do a show. Rocksteady has a bigger name than us. You know what I'm saying? They're known worldwide. You know, so we're kind of like Flawless Boston. You know what I'm saying? So they put us on before them. But we always, like routines, like suits, everything always had to be fresh. So we went out and smashed the show. We smashed it so hard. They put us on before them. We smashed the show so hard that when they came out, people were just looking at them like like the whole time we're performing, the crowd is screaming, oh my God, oh my God. When they go on, people are just like looking at them like this.
You know what?
In the middle of that, like they get like the Crazy Legs gets upset. So he's like, yo, he's like, stop the music. He's like, yo, he grabs the mic and he goes, yo, anybody in here want to battle? Anybody talking trash online? So we was always a humble type. We didn't really talk no trash online. That wasn't our thing. So people on my crew, they hard-headed. They're ready to go. They're like, yo, come on, let's go. Let's go battle. I'm like, nah, let's chill. Let's wait for him to say our name. Because we seen there was no more b-boys there. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew he was gonna say our name. So he was like, we even battled the Flawless. The whole group got up on stage. He was like, oh nah, just y'all three best. And I was like, hell nah. So I was like, hell nah. Like it's gotta be all of it. So I was like, you know what? You call us out. I said,
okay.
There you go.
I said, you call us out. You call us out. I said, you know what? You're three best, and me and you. And then that battle's online. If you look it up, Flawless against, and you see, we're just like, everybody who watches that battle is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all guys was, every time they went out, we just outmatched everything that they did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have a lot of moments like that, but to us, it's not. Those are not like the biggest moments. I think the biggest moments are the things that we help create ourselves. Even though that's definitely important, because even going to New York, being from Boston, you know, me, I'm originally from New York, and growing up in Boston was hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was really from New York. But you know what I'm saying? Like being born in Boston and having family in New York, I always got shitted on all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was always like, you know, that trash talking. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh man, you know, that's why I never got into sports. I just got into really dancing. That was my life.
So let me ask this question, right? And any of you all can answer this. You know, as you all have done your thing and you continue to keep the Floor Lord legacy going, I know you all saw America's Best Dance Crew, right? The ABDC,
Yep.
America's Best Dance Crew.
Yep.
And when you saw Jabberwockies and Status Quo, right? In my opinion, I'm not just saying this because I'm from Boston. I honestly believe as that, show went on, that first season, in my opinion, I believe Status Quo won that whole battle. And I say that because as I watched those guys perform, they were very creative in the things that they did, very, very animated in their performances. So watching that show, what were your thoughts? Did you guys think?
Well, me watching it, like, I could say like as a foundational dancer, like foundation and creativity, like Jabberwockies were a lot more clean, a lot more better. They came with a gimmick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, I think a lot of times, like certain things that dancers don't see, or people that don't dance see, like dancers do see. Like me, like a person who's been around a long time, who follows like the foundation, follows like the dance, understands creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of, sometimes you could see why they want. Like if I was a judge, I would have looked at it and been like the Jabberwockies.
Okay.
But when people who don't really understand, you know what I'm saying, and they see a lot of flash and they see certain things that looks nice to them because they don't really understand the dance itself.
fundamentals.
The fundamentals, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what
Okay.
a lot of people don't see sometimes.
Mike,
Yeah,
what
and
were your thoughts?
well, I gotta rock with the Jabberwockies too because, again, one of the Jabberwockies was influenced by a Floor Lord, which is Megatron, Tron. So I'm always gonna ride for us,
Okay.
no matter what. That's just me and how I'm built.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, one of his
Right,
students is a Jabberwocky now.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
There goes
We
Dash.
got Dash
You know,
Boogie, one of our
I think
poppers.
that is amazing that you guys have lasted so long in this game and you still continue. Tell us about this involvement that you all have with the Olympics.
Okay, so I have, my nephew is actually a part of the USA team.
Okay.
This year he won't be in the because they're only picking 2 dancers
Okay.
in from the United States. Like before, like the way it was promoted, the way things changed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the first time the breaking's gonna be in the Olympics.
Okay.
The Olympics really, it was a mess when it first started. Like there was no structure to it. Like people were trying to figure it out, how were they gonna do it. So the teams were kind of like, they were doing these competitions first, and a lot of the competitions that they were doing, some of the organizations were saying like, oh, it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to qualify, and then later on, they sit down and meet with the head, people from the Olympics or the people who are organizing it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of would come back and change things up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it ended up kind of like changing. It looked kind of disorganized. So they said, all right, you know what? Let's just pick 2 dancers out of the but they all flew out to different countries. So they'll fly out, like I think it was 8 B-boys and 8 B-girls to different countries to battle it out. You know what I'm saying? From each state. From each country. So he was a part of that team. So he actually just came back. He was in I think it was Budapest last, like a couple of weeks ago. That was his last time to get in, and another person got in. But his partner is actually in that battle. So they're only picking 2. So he's on the USA team. So he won't be competing this year, but he's on the USA breaking team.
Okay.
So, and I wanted to jump in on that. First of all, for the culture, a lot of us are still in a state of awe and shock that even the Olympics nominated breakdancing as a category. First of all,
That's
so
correct.
hip-hop-
Absolutely.
So
Amen.
we look at it as hip hop made it to the Olympics,
Right.
which is like
Absolutely.
the biggest stage for competition in the world that we know that we have, and that alone is an accomplishment.
Right.
And because like what Lena was saying, hip hop, it kind of what went wrong in hip hop too is when they started packaging it and trying to sort it out for us.
Yeah.
You feel me? So Olympics being new to that, breaking being new to the Olympics, they really don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
From what he's saying, because I don't think there's too many other sports in the Olympics where it's a two-man situation.
You should have offered your expertise, man.
Ah,
You know,
Well, I mean, if we all could, hey, I would have loved to say.
There's a lot of people
Right.
who are involved who know what they're doing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's a lot of people who don't want to be involved. I get it.
Right.
I'm more of a supporter of anybody who's trying to do whatever. Go to the Olympics.
Right.
Go dance on the corner. Go dance in the club. Go dance at a show.
Right.
Go compete at a little small competition. So I'm kind of open, but I think it's just the people who are on the top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who don't really understand. You know. So I think for that reason and there was a reason why I really didn't want to get involved, because I don't want to. I want these dancers, all these dancers, to come from everywhere in the world and get to show. You know what I'm saying? Instead of picking two dancers, why not have the whole team?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where you could represent your whole. It's like when they say the basketball team, is going, they're bringing the whole team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, it kind of holds it back, but it is what it is. I'm proud that it's there. We just got to support it for what it is,
Yes.
and just move on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sounds good.
It's still an accomplishment.
yeah, it's
At
an
the end of the day.
accomplishment at the end of the day. Yeah.
You know,
So-
the music execs.
the way I look at it, right? It's almost like a civil rights movement, man. You know what I mean? This is the first step. You know what I'm saying? For this dancing to become a sport and to be in the Olympics. I mean, that alone right there is a huge accomplishment, man. Because
It
we
is.
had plenty of
Absolutely.
blockades, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as the hip hop culture, you know what I'm saying, in the urban culture. You know what I mean? So, just for us to be there and we have our foot, you know what I'm saying, in that sport, in that competition, that's a great start for me.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
for
So
sure.
next year, you know what I mean, it gets bigger, it gets better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it
And more,
is.
you know what I mean, and more improvement, you know what I'm saying, towards the hip hop culture,
Right.
and not just the watered down version.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Amen.
Cool. All right, so who's going to introduce us to the next member that
Oh,
just
this
came
brother
in?
right here is Dash Boogie.
Okay.
Dash
Boogie.
Boogie.
JP.
So,
Dash Boogie.
Dash Boogie. How do you spell that? Is that just with a dash and then Boogie?
One word, dash boogie with the Y at the end instead of the IE.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Dash Boogie, pull that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth so we can hear you.
All right, baby.
Okay. What do you do?
So, recruited by Linsky in '84.
Bring the mic a little closer. Get a little closer to the mic. Yeah.
Little closer, that's good.
There you go.
I came into the crew in '84 as a pomper. Me and my brother's a b-boy, I was the pomper.
Okay.
We came from our own crew in Jamaica Plain.
Uh-huh.
We met up with the Flow Lords with Linsky in '83, '84.
We had a big battle. That's what happened.
Okay.
We had a nice battle.
Who won the battle?
8-hour battle.
We did.
So
We
Master
battled the
Young-
whole JP. Like six or seven members of us battled the whole JP.
So that's what we did, So I just contributed to the crew as a popper, and my
Okay.
popping skills is more on old school '80s boogie boy style.
So are you good still?
I'll smoke anybody right now.
What? Look, Lino sound like a challenge to me.
You see that right there?
Sound like a challenge, Lino.
on.
So
Challenge each other.
Lino got up and did a little something.
So did Al.
Yeah.
I know. I saw you on the live. I saw you on the live.
Oh,
I saw you on the live. I was passing out some like.
You gotta show us something now, player. You gotta show us something now.
You gotta show
Give him a sound.
Dash ain't
Give him a
shy,
sound,
he ain't
Marv.
shy.
Before we go there, I just want to know, like, you guys have shows that you still do, and when you all do your shows, does everybody dance, or are there like certain select members that dance? Like, some of y'all feel like y'all too old to dance. Like, how does that work?
Well, I still dance.
I saw that. Yeah.
I still dance. I still dance every once in a while.
I'm still dancing. I'm not actively participating in shows, but
Okay.
if they ever call me, I'm right there to smoke you.
Okay. All right.
Mad took a hiatus. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
personally, I'm not
He's a
dancing, but I'm
hiatus.
coming back
He's
though.
a
I'm on the rise.
Six
You know what
Pack
I
is
mean?
a hiatus too. But we all still build with each other. We all still hang out with each other. We all still get together.
So y'all still support each other.
What I do is I would say myself would be like a coordinator of shows. You know what I'm saying? I do my networking and get the shows for the younger generation.
Like him and Matt, that's what they're doing now.
Okay.
Like last year, they came back last year. Actually, the last couple of years, and we've been building, trying to get Dash too. Like Dash is doing a lot of our marketing. Like they're starting to come back and help the crew out now. Like that's one of the big things. And what's bringing us even closer together is that they're coming back and they're helping out. Mad just comes with a lot of great ideas. He's working on his own things. He's always been a superstitious guy, so he don't really tell us, but we trust him on his word. Like that's all we ever did, so we just trust him on his word.
So Matt, your visions, right? Yeah. Is there any vision that you see that something big is coming for the Floor Lords?
Yes,
I can't hear you. You gotta pull the mic, bro.
Yes, I do.
Oh, now
Okay.
you knock the camera down.
Man down.
Fix that for him, Ray. Push the camera. Push the mic back.
Y'all dangerous over there.
Man down.
Okay. So go ahead, Matt. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I see us now. Two visions that I have.
Turn it towards the door a little, Ray.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Is that
Okay.
good?
That's cool right there. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I see. I had two visions.
Uh-huh.
Definitely, one was.
Talk a little bit closer to the mic. We want to make sure we hear it all.
One vision was. I saw us on Broadway.
Okay.
As far as I can recall, I can't recall a standing Broadway play that was, let's say, especially breakdancing or hip hop based, with a standing residency, let's say, on Broadway.
Okay.
Something like Cats.
Okay.
The Wiz. I think the Wiz may have been the longest standing black.
Push it down onto the stand a little bit. Just push it hard. Okay. All right, go ahead. Keep going, Matt.
Right. So Broadway was one of the visions. And then the second vision was actually doing a world tour, similar to the 1980s Fresh Fest. See, that's something you may remember, Marv.
Of course, yeah. Of course.
Royal, you probably weren't in existence at that time. But the Fresh Fest was technically the first hip hop world premiere tour.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and I think it was generated by Def Jam at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, bringing that back to the world. So those were the two visions that I had.
Okay.
And partnering up with a few majors to do this, to make this happen.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's anything that I can do to help the vision, I'm more than happy to assist. What we have coming up, as you know, New Year's Eve down the Cape, 3 days on the Cape. Okay. I don't know if your Broadway vision was actually y'all performing at this 3-day event, but
hey.
Well, like you heard what
we can
Dad
definitely
said.
talk about it.
We definitely open to talking about it.
And if your world tour,
yes,
looked like it was surrounded by water, we got this big cruise coming up next year.
Okay.
Right.
So
all right. So definitely we can
things
collaborate.
to talk about.
We on board. We on board.
Things to talk about, man.
Yeah.
So we also have some visions that we putting in fruition right now, though.
Okay.
I don't know if they mentioned it earlier today.
We haven't got into that.
Oh, all right. So I'm about to drop the bomb
Okay,
then, huh?
before,
Drop
wait.
the bomb. We
Wait,
waited for you.
before you drop the bomb, hold
Right.
on 1 second. Let me
Gotta
just
pay
drop
some
this
bills
real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We are the Urban Heat. Expect the unexpected. Unorthodox radio from Boston and beyond. Heat981fm.com and iHeart Station.
Hey, it's your girl Blue the Pirate, and if you are listening to this, then I am welcoming you to join me on Blue's Pirate Ship Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, playing nothing but the best in underground music, talking love, life, and a whole bunch of pirate talk. Hit me up on Instagram, Blue the Pirate _ on TikTok, Blue's Pirate Ship. I'll see you then, only on the Urban Heat Radio.
Boston and surrounding areas, get ready to get your laugh on. The Black Comedy Explosion presents comedy at the Carver Den each and every Wednesday nights at the Carver Den, bringing you some of the funniest comedians such as Comedy Central, BET's Comic View, Martin Lawrence's First Amendment, P. Diddy's Bad Boys of Comedy, and many more. Doors open at 7:30 p.m. Showtime at 9 p.m. This is all hosted by the Bad Boy of Comedy, Jonathan Gates. After the show is the after party. Music by the Ladies' Choice, DJ Wade. Let us host your birthday celebration, girls' night out, bachelor parties. All groups are welcome. Tickets, reservations, and information, call 617-590-8334. That's 617-590-8334. The Black Comedy Explosion.
R&B and Chill has found a new home. Get your glass of wine, sit back, and relax. As your girl Chanel Remy takes you on an R&B experience that is sure to satisfy your desires. Join me Wednesday nights from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Boston's #1 for classic R&B and hip-hop. 98.1 FM, The Urban Heat on iHeart Radio.
Come get wet with us. The 4th annual Urban Heat Beach Party, Saturday, July 13th at Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Get there early. Setup starts at 7 a.m. Bring a chair and a canopy. Come hang out with all your Urban Heat radio personalities. That's July 13th, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Look for the Urban Heat tent. We'll be across from Ocean Gaming and K Street. Come hang out with us. Come get wet for the 4th annual Urban Heat Beach Party. Register for free. Go in Eventbrite. Keyword Urban Heat Beach Party.
98.1 FM, the Urban Heat.
That's
You're
right.
inside the ride.
That's right.
That's right.
Back
with
here
the
with the
Floor
legendary
Floor Lords.
Legendary that is.
So you got some news you was going to drop, man.
Oh yeah. So one of our visions, because I don't know if they told you, but we're a Boston-based group, and we've had studios and we've borrowed studios all over, Massachusetts, but we haven't had that one particular spot where we could say that was our own home.
Right.
So we've been working on that, fruitful. It's very, very fruitful. We've been really working, and I think it's about to come in fruition right now. We did a bid not too long ago, a couple months ago, for a building. The building would be the old Harriet Tubman building.
Yeah.
And that would be 566 Columbus Ave.
Wow.
We're the top 5 finalists, right?
Nice.
This week is the deadline for everything.
Actually, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, the 11th. Yeah, so tomorrow what we're doing is we're doing an open interview, public Zoom, as to why we want the want the space and what we have to offer and things of that nature. So, that's part of, our reason for being here too as well, you know what I'm saying? Because we want to get the word out, you know what I'm saying? Because what they're also asking for is for, the public to be able to give, their senses on, what they feel about the Floor Lords and what the Floor Lords had to, contribute, to the urban cultures and the urban neighborhoods.
That's dope.
So some of the things that we do and we cater to is youth development.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we do that through the dance and through the art.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And, over the years, we've helped a lot of young, young kids. Thousands
of
you know
kids.
what I'm saying? Come from out of the streets and, have some success in life. And also, the dancing is like it's like a meditation. You know what I'm saying? It's something that, keeps kids, continuously, having their minds occupied, man.
Right. Amen.
And, not straying away into the streets.
Right.
So, that is like one of the major things that we consider ourselves going after when you say, do we have any goals or, something that we're looking forward to. That right there, man, especially to me, and coming from, the environment that I came from, I feel like, I want to give back, to the community, some of the community that I took from, as a youth. I want to give that back, and I want these youths, to have something as well. And, that makes me feel good.
Right.
It makes me feel good, And if we get this space, I mean, there's a lot, man, that we can do for Boston itself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Because this is, to me, I feel like Floor Lords right now, this is going to be the opening, for all type of things, man, as far as the youth, man, that's out there, living the street life, who want to be entertainers as far as music or, dance or art or whatever the case may be.
I mean,
this
just
is
even
like
for
the
us,
door.
For us, it's not just about the dance. Like for us, like we're just not just dancers. You know what I'm saying? Like we try to teach everything, outside of just dance. You know, how to put together a show, how to be a choreographer, how to produce music, how to produce your own show, how to like how to be a video editor. Like we have people in our group that do everything, through the dance. So it wasn't like we were just dancers. Like I don't just consider myself a dancer.
Right.
I've been doing so much. I'm a DJ, I'm an event promoter, I'm a choreographer, you know what I'm saying? I'm a teacher, so it's not just about the dance, and that's what we want to be able to
The dancer
teach
has
kids.
brought you to this point.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I'm
but
saying?
that's but I'm happy doing what I do because it's what I love doing. So to me, it's not a job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love to hear you guys talk about this, right? Because a lost art in entertainment is artist development.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's artist development.
Yep, you're right.
If we watch everyone nowadays, there's no practice. There's none of these things that we grew up on. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not in y'all era, but it's still, I want to say my era was the last of the Mohegans, where that was important. That was vital to your growth and your success, right?
Yep.
I mean, I practiced from 5 to 8 every day. And our manager, he had a shout out to Pops. He owned a limousine service, and he built us a stage in the back of his Bo.
Yeah,
Clyde,
yeah.
right on 27 Washington Street, 2717 Washington. That's where we used to be, right across from the old what's that? Cabot, the old MBTA station right there. Yeah, we would practice there every single day, man, from 5 to 8, every single day. I don't even remember missing a day. Yeah. So, but we were developing ourselves. You know what I mean? So when I hear you guys,
we were the same way. We were the same way.
When I hear you guys talking about developing the youth, man, and getting them ahead of the game, because like our parents my mother wanted me to be a pharmacist. Wow. You know what I mean? Like my mom was like, "Oh, okay, you love the singing thing. That's cool, but this is what's gonna bring the money, right?"
Yeah.
I don't think she really seen it until she actually came to a show. And it happened to be the first show that she came to was the Kite Festival, right? And that was like, everyone know back in the day the Kite Festival was like a huge deal, right? And I'll never forget this day as long as I live. And that's why this is like one of my favorite interviews, this right here, because hearing y'all's story, you know, my group, right, we were performing and like, you know, everyone's flying their kite and not paying no mind. And they're like, yeah, coming to the stage next, 617. That whole audience just, everyone just snapped right in there. And what was so dope about that is we had the community backing us, whether it was older people and younger people. And that was a credit to our manager at the time, because he put us in front of, he was like, yeah, we're going to have you guys open for the Temps. We're like, come on, Pop, why are we opening for the Temptations? They're old, man. But we didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see. We didn't see it. It's like, yeah, I'm about to put y'all in front of Maurice. We like, Maurice, for what? Like, you know, like we need to go to Puff Daddy. What are you talking about? Like, we didn't see.
I mean, you know, that's the thing I tell my nephew now. You know, it's always, you know, you should be able to travel. You should be able to do things.
Right.
But it's always about building your community.
Right.
In Boston, to build that fan base. And I know sometimes it's kind of hard. Like a lot of people feel like, oh, Boston, people, they don't really, you know. But I'm telling you, they're here. You know what I'm saying? So we've had fans, we've had people for years that, you know, followed us around. We still do shows. We've been together 40 something years. We still do shows now. Like 35 years we've been doing these shows.
I don't feel like it's hard. I just feel like nowadays it's a little different now. Social media. What I will say, back when I was coming up, at least, right? People gave you your props right in front of you.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now it's like a girl hit the DM and be like, Ray, oh my God, you sing so good, instead of saying it in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, when we were coming up, and I'm pretty sure this is the same thing with y'all movement.
Sure.
Like we had to have security because the girls was like really crazy.
Yeah.
You know what
we
I'm
used to
saying?
get chased around. There's been times we got chased around. Like I swear to God, we got to one time we did a show in
I'm sorry, man. We can talk about that all day, man.
You know it's real.
Yeah, we got chased one time. We did a show in New Hampshire.
Oh yeah.
And it was the first time like breaking was like really something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we went out there and these girls started chasing us around. We're like, yo, what the hell's going on? So it's been a lot of times where we've been in those situations.
I don't want to bust anybody's bubble.
Yes, sir.
Or anything like that, but two things I need to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time sitting here right now and processing this because this man here said that his mother wanted him to be a pharmacist.
Right.
And as I'm sitting here looking at Ray, he looks like a pharmacist. Can you imagine Ray with that white coat on? Ray does look like he should be a pharmacist, right? He does look like, right?
Oh,
and then you got Lino over here talking about y'all was in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And y'all were being chased.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all didn't realize they weren't chasing you to show you love. They were chasing y'all to get y'all the hell out of New Hampshire. During that time, there weren't a lot of black people in New Hampshire.
I'm going to tell you right now, at the hotel that night, it was totally something different.
Oh, man. And you can put...
And you better believe their fathers was probably looking too, looking for them.
What's so dope about that is that I remember being a young teen, right? And I really thought that only black girls liked me. I'm gonna speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, but the more and more I started singing and going around, I'll never forget the first time like an Asian girl came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, I love you." Like, I want to take you home with me, and I'm looking at her like I didn't even know what to say. That was the first time I ever was like, "What?" and I remember I was with a shorty at the time, right? And the shorty goes, "What's she gonna do? File your nails?"
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
No,
how we were a little
he didn't.
different. We grew up in all
goodness.
different. So, Mad and Cisco was from Randolph. So Randolph was mad
diverse. Yeah.
Diverse. No, it wasn't diverse.
Not that time. Not back then.
Not back then.
Not back then. He was only one of two black families in Randolph during that time.
So we had members who were white who were in Quincy.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was no black people in Quincy at that time. We never seen anybody who was black at that time.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Time.
So we had, and then we had people in Brockton, like, you know, there was diversity in Brockton for sure.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we had people in Stoughton, like we had members from everywhere. So we was everywhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like our whole crew we was like probably the most diverse crew. You know what I'm saying? Right. In Boston. You know what I'm saying? Because we was, it wasn't like we were from Boston. We were from Massachusetts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Even looking in the room right now at y'all, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like the different shades, man, and like that's crazy. But one of the big things that y'all speak about is community, and that's what I love the most.
I mean that is our thing, man. It's community. Like you know, as a matter of fact, I want to just talk about something that we're doing tomorrow. Which is the UMass Boston Community Hip Hop Summit. You know what I'm saying? It's actually not tomorrow. It's Friday. July 12th, 2024, noon. It's noon to 6 p.m. Campus Center, 3rd floor, UMass Boston. If y'all could come through, you know, anybody out there listening, come through, support Boston hip hop, because that's what it's really about. Our community is gonna be a bunch of different singers. Actually, not singers, rappers, singers, and DJs, and dancers who are going to be there just talking about it. But we also got some performances. Also, we got Mo Pope, we got Mark Merrim, we got
Mark Merrim, that's my guy.
A few other artists coming through to perform. We got a battle that we're going to do, local dancers who are gonna battle, and then that night we're doing something in Malden. You know what I'm saying? Which is let me make sure I got this right. It's at the American Legion Post. It's a pre-party, you know what I'm saying, that we kind of like doing. And then on Saturday we're doing a party. So we work with Red Bull. So we're doing the Red Bull BC1 Cypher. Okay. At Big Night Live. Yeah. Okay. And then on Sunday, you know what I'm saying, is our 43rd anniversary. Please, if y'all can make it out there.
Congratulations,
on Sunday,
man.
It's going to be at Big Night Live again. That's from 3 to 9.
3 to 9?
Yeah, we got some live performances also coming through. So, we just want community to just come out and support, you know what I'm saying, what we've been doing for years. And years. Don't be shy to give us a call. Our website is floorlords.org. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We do community. It's not that we don't do community work. We do community work. We still do free shows, long as it's really, you know what I'm saying, for the community. Right. Like, that's what we're about. We're about community. That's how we keep, our name alive. That's how we keep, the group going. Right. It's by educating and helping the next generation.
Wow, 43 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
That's older than you, right?
If you all can't make it to the Urban Heat 98.1 FM beach party.
Oh, that's on Saturday. It can make it on Sunday.
Right. You can
make it on Sunday.
Still, there's something to do
on Sunday.
Also.
Yeah, on Sunday for sure, man.
So it's the second option for those who can't make it to the beach.
Okay.
And definitely we want to send a couple of shout outs.
Yeah, just talk right in the mic.
Yeah, Deborah Mason, Performing Arts Studio, Floor Lords Studio, Slaughterhouse Studio, Triple R Entertainment, Funk Phenomenon, and of course the Floor Lords.
I want to send a shout out to a couple of our sponsors: Snipes,
yes.
Freestyle Session, Silverback B-Boys, Jack in the Box, and Samsung Galaxy. Not to be, trying to use y'all to be promoting, but we got to promote the sponsors sometimes. But man, the Pro Breaking Tour has been a big part of something that I've been doing for a while, which is, I helped create. I helped bring something together, which is an event that started bringing events around the nation. You know what I'm saying? And right now, we have a bunch of big, events happening this year. Our event is a part of that event. So the winner of that event, wins $3,000. I mean, we're giving away probably like around $5,000 or $6,000 in prizes. But also the winner goes to the biggest competition, which is November 12th in LA for an event called Freestyle Session.
Wow.
So I mean, that's what we try to do. We try to give back to the community. You know what I'm saying? Right. And try to inspire people, because that's what the truth is. It's really about inspiring the next generation, and because they inspire us. That's what kept us going all these years.
Amen.
Right.
Okay. All right. Sounds good, man. So we got more members showing up, huh?
That's it. This is it.
Okay, here.
That's Cisco right there.
Female.
We had to give you a flavor, man, with the female
All right.
founder member. She's
And Cisco's in the house.
All right.
All right. Here's Cisco.
Yeah.
Cisco, you might
So yeah, you have a seat right there, Cisco.
They heard a lot
Okay.
about you.
Yeah.
How you doing,
How you
man?
doing,
Right.
brother?
And one of
Okay.
our best kept secrets was Snow.
Snow.
First female.
Yes.
Okay. Did I just see you on the live here? Writing on the live?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go.
In the
Snow.
flesh. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Snow, if you just push the mic over, just so I can ask. How long have you been dancing, and what style of dance do you do?
I danced for about 10 years.
Move it closer.
About 10 years. The first, like the beginning of the 80s, 90s.
Okay.
With the Floor Lords, I did popping and waving first. That was my first style I learned, and then as soon as breakdancing came in, that was captivated me right away, and I started learning the second style.
So you break dance.
She was the first
yes.
female doing head spins in Boston.
And where do you live? What area are you from?
Well, originally, I mean, when I was growing up,
Yeah.
originally I grew up the first 10 years of my life in South Boston, and
Okay.
then from there I moved from an all-white neighborhood into an all-Latino black neighborhood, which is at the South End.
Okay.
And so I had kind of the best of all different cultures, and I got to see popping the first time at a retreat. It was a retreat that I went to, and there was a guy named Snow White who was popping there, which really caught my attention. So I was just obsessed after that point, and just practiced every day and involved myself in, in the area of people dancing that I could be around, and learn the styles. And I learned very quickly. My first partner was Tron. I was in a group called Cosmic Reaction, and this group had a flavor of people: white, Spanish, black,
Chinese.
Latino, Chinese. They considered me white, even though I'm Mexican and Dominican, but because I do look Italian with the hazel eyes, they called me Snow. And it's part of my dance friend's name who taught me how to dance. He was Snow White.
Okay.
Yes.
So you lived in Southie,
Yes.
and then you moved from Southie to the South End.
Yes.
So that was a hell of a culture shock.
I can tell you yes, and I'll tell you a funny story. When I lived in South Boston, even though I looked white, American, I really wasn't accepted there because of my last name. So my last name is Cruz. So I always had an issue there with, and in South Boston they have this thing where they'd be like, hey, what's your name? No, what's your last name? And they always wanted to know your last name because they wanted to determine on what race you were.
Right.
And that never settled well with me. I mean, the people that I grew up with, because my mom was a single mom, I grew up with a Irish family there who helped, take care of me. Wonderful people. But yeah, and then I moved from there into an all-white Spanish neighborhood where there I wasn't accepted at first either because I look white.
Right.
And it didn't matter what my last name was. So I think that, when I saw dancing for the first time, I just loved it because it was something about the energy, but also it captivated me, but it gave me a way to integrate into the community with the dance. And I feel like that's when I started getting more accepted, and I started using my dance and traveling and doing a lot of shows. We used to do the Lee School, we know the Funk Effects, New Edition, the New Kids on the Block, Mari Star, all those people I got to associate with, and I was kind of a loner, which I still kind of am, and I would just go from neighborhood to neighborhood, and I really didn't have any limits. I was well accepted among the people in the community.
Because you tore it up.
I
That's
did.
why.
I was a good. I
Okay.
would say I was a good dancer, and so
Okay.
yeah, I really loved it, and would dance pretty much 7 days a week, 8 hours a day if I could. If I could sleep, breathe, and eat it, I would.
Okay, last question I need to know. Do you still dance now?
I do dance. So I had been out for a while because I had a child and stuff, and I did my own thing. I ended up going to an event down at Dudley and got to see the Funk Effects. Walked into a room, KRS One was there. And when I walked into this room, the presence that I felt, being out of the scene for so long, was amazing. Everybody just approached me in the room. Oh my God, Snow, where have you been? Like, what are you not, why haven't you been around, you know? And from that day, I decided, that was about 2 years ago, that I wanted to, you know, continue and come back into the flavor of the hip hop and the dancing, and hooked up with Tron and the Floor Lords. As you see, we're all kind of united now.
Okay, so I need to ask this. I need to rephrase this question,
Right.
and then we're gonna go over to Cisco. I asked you if you still dance, and you said
do
yeah.
still dance.
What I really want to know is, are you good?
Oh.
I honestly, I am older like the other members of the crew here, but I believe that I move very well. And I go and I practice with Tron at Slaughterhouse, and he is a tough teacher, and let me tell you, when I leave there, I really can't walk for a few days. So I feel like, you know, for my age, I'm physically fit enough. I don't compete. I do go to all the competitions. I do film all the dancers, and I do a lot of networking.
So you're more like a dance mom.
Not really a dance mom, more like I'm trying to do a networking
Okay.
with the people in the hip hop community, and just getting back with the old school, and being able to link up with El Nino, which is the old school, and learning all the different, you know, areas of the ages, and trying to learn how to bridge that gap is very important for us, you know, as a legacy, also to pass on our legacy. So.
Let me tell you, man, I applaud each and every one of y'all, because I'm old and I'm fat, and I'm gonna need the icy hot. I'm gonna need the heat pads. I'm gonna need the bags of ice. All of that. I got trouble walking up the steps. So all this that y'all be doing, hats off to you, because I can't even think about trying to do all that. I mean, I'm just not coordinated like that. Cisco,
Yes,
I keep
sir.
hearing that you're the man.
I know. I don't know about that, but
He is the man.
I feel just like you do. So don't. All right. I'm
you're
the
not-
oldest member.
So you're not dancing anymore, Cisco, or what?
No, I'm just trying to make sure this legacy continues.
Dope. That's amazing, man. That's so amazing. You know, it's just, you know, it feels really good, man, to see all of you here, and to know that, you know, the legacy of the Floor Lords, you know, has lasted this long, and it's still going to continue to move forward once we're all gone.
That's right.
You know, the legacy will continue on, and I really truly hope that you all get the building, because that's going to help to cement
Even more.
the legacy
The
of
legacy.
the Floor Lords. You know, and you have a home that's yours, then, you know, you have the, you know, your new members that will continue to keep coming in and keep the name going on. So, you know, I absolutely applaud you all for the hard work and the dedication that you all have.
Gotta call her.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing.
You gotta call him.
Okay, let's see who's on the line here.
Hi,
Inside the ride.
This is Suzanne. This is Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne.
What's up?
You don't never call any other time, so this has
Well,
got to
I
be
really
special.
Listen, Marv, you don't know how to do a good interview, but the real reason why I'm calling is that I think they should think about opening a dance studio in the Boston area. Most importantly in Roxbury, because Roxbury is the capital of the urban city of Boston. So have they thought about that?
So Suzanne, before y'all answer this, did you come up with that question all by yourself? Huh? Because clearly, Suzanne, you call in here, you taking shots at me. You calling here taking shots at me, talking about I don't know how to conduct an interview. Well, let me just help Suzanne. Suzanne,
I be listening
baby.
to some of your interviews. That's like he do not ask the good questions.
So Suzanne, let me help you here. So and my brother over here, Air Flare, right? AKA Boogie Down, AKA Reg, he said earlier that they have a building that they are going to find out, or they got to do a presentation for tomorrow for the building on Columbus Ave. Where was you at, Suzanne? You didn't hear that part?
Well, you talking at the time, I probably stepped away from my phone when you was talking.
Sure. So look,
That'd be great, because I have grandchildren I want to put into a dance class. We used to have Alma Lewis dance school in Roxbury. She's gone. May she rest in peace. And there's nothing that replaced her. And I think the kids in the urban city will benefit from something like that. And I would definitely pay for my grandchildren to get them into it, because I know they like dancing.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you the opportunity, fellas. One of y'all answer the question that she had.
I didn't have the question.
The question was, are you guys? Why don't you open up a dance school or place for people to come to dance? Because she wants her grandchild to be able to.
Well, I could speak on. We do have a school, but it's in Cambridge. It's Harvard Square, on Winter Street by Harvard. Which is in Cambridge. Our main thing. We've been there for about, I think, like 4 years now. But what we want to do, we're originally from Boston. We want to bring it back to Boston, because I think, in Cambridge, there's kids there. There's not that many kids. There are kids that we, see us at different shows that do come there, but we're not getting the kids that we really want to help, which are most of the kids in the communities that need the help.
Right.
So
I
talk
think
about the building in Roxbury. The one
on Reg.
So in answer to your
Right,
question,
Reggie Lewis Center would be good.
So in answer to your question, we're in the process of trying to get a building.
That's great.
Yep. So we could use your support, our friends' support, and if you want to know just how you can support us, you can go on our webpage, www.floorlords.com.
.org.
And it'll answer your question on how to give us support. But we're in the process. Tomorrow we're doing an interview for that building, which would be the old Harriet Tubman building on Columbus Ave. So we're paving the way so that we can get a building, to have kids. Yep.
Okay.
Please give us a little prayer.
Suzanne, I am putting the website in the live, so you can access the website. They need donations. There's a donate button on the page where you can donate money.
Marv, once I get my computer fixed, I'll check it out.
Would you like me to text you the information to the website? Because I'm more than happy to send you a text.
Text me.
Okay.
Yeah, because my daughter, she's crazy. She turns around and bumps my computer. But anyway, text me.
Okay, and I just want, before you go, Suzanne, can you all please tell Suzanne what else she can do to help move things forward or to help the cause?
Just keep talking.
Yeah.
Get out there. You don't have a computer, get out there.
I'm a social butterfly, and I know
That's what
plenty
we
of
need.
people. I even know the mayor of Boston. I'm a Democrat donor, so I
Just
know people.
keep getting it out there. That's all.
I will. Thank you for your talent and what you're doing for the community.
Thank you so much. Okay, Suzanne, check your phone. I just sent you
have a good night.
I sent you the website. All right.
All right, cool.
All right, have a good one.
Floor Lords.
You too.
All right. Man, Suzanne make me sick. Suzanne listens to us every day, and Suzanne never calls in. Ever. She never calls this show, and now y'all in. So y'all have inspired Suzanne to call in. That's an amazing thing. Man.
That's what we're trying to do.
This has been an amazing interview, man. Like I said, someone coming from a group, man, just on the other side of it, man. It's so refreshing to see you guys still here, united, trying to pass it down. Because a lot of us forget, as we're going on, as we're in real time, right? A lot of us forget sometimes where we came from and what we actually doing this for. You know, obviously we do it for the love, but it's also to pass it down to who's coming after us, man. And we want to set a good example for the ones that's coming up after us, man, and let them know. I always say to people that I know, I don't want you to go through the same thing I went through.
Exactly.
You know, like the trials and tribulations that I had to endure. You don't want them to do that. So the things that you guys are doing for the community, man, it's just so dope and it's inspiring, man, to hear. Because, again, what we talked earlier when we were talking about some people, when they gather things, you know, when you got a spotlight on you, some people want to keep it to themselves. But you guys spreading that love is super dope.
I mean,
man.
that's been our whole goal. Like all these, this is all different generations. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like first generation, second generation, second generation, first generation, second generation. But we have so many, like my nephew's not even here. He was supposed to come, but he has to do the presentation for tomorrow. So he's actually writing, rehearsing, you know, trying to make sure he gets it right. But, you know, if you're able to make it on Sunday, if you can, come through. It'll be something special. You'll see all the generations there. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of different people. Like, I mean, we can't invite 50 people here. This was like, you know, something that we kind of like push. You know, these people all come from work, from other sides. Like some of us live out in Danvers, coming here. Like we thought we were supposed to come here at 6.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't know the beauty of being here so early because we were able to really speak and really communicate and really tell our story. You know what I'm saying? Which is amazing. I was like 4 o'clock. All right, I'm down. I'm over here. I'll get here. You know what I'm saying?
We can talk about that later.
It's all right, man. Listen, man, you know, we're here. We were able to get here at 4. We were able to get a lot of the information now. We were able to tell our story. That's the biggest thing, you know, for us.
Yeah,
you know, for us it's about that. But
you guys got a great story too, man. Great story.
Cisco hasn't really finished his
That's all right.
Because he was like, you know, one of the biggest. Him and Matt are like our heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
So Cisco, I mean, we talked to Matt. We talked to Lino. We talked to everyone almost.
Yeah.
But we kept hearing this name, Cisco. You seem like a man of not so many words, but I would like to.
He got a lot of words.
I would like to. I would like to hear. I would like to hear just really quick. Your beginnings.
Is that me? Sorry.
Shut it off. Let me pick it up. Nope, don't do that. Shut it down. Let me do that. Give me the phone.
Your beginnings.
Yes.
And why you wanted to do what you do currently.
Okay, real quick because it's a long story, but from the beginning, I was in Providence, and I went into a club, and I was always into clubs, and I saw all these people like spinning on the floor, and I was like, what is going on? And I was with another guy, another friend of mine. He doesn't dance, and he's looking at me. I was like, I'm gonna do that, and he's like, what is that? And so I said, I don't care, I'm doing it. So I went home and I started practicing what I saw, and I noticed this one move. It was a windmill, okay? And it turned out the guy that was doing it was like one of the first guys to do it in that area.
Right.
So I went home, practiced, and you all know New Edition.
Right.
Well, they were doing a show at the Candy Factory. I don't know what it's called now.
I don't know. I don't even know.
Lansdowne Street.
Dance Factory.
Dance Factory.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. Sorry, guys.
What Candy Factory? I'm like, what is that? That must have been in Cambridge.
I'm sorry. I'm getting old. I'm almost 60, so. But this guy went up there and he opened up for New Edition, and he's doing the windmills up there. So I broke into the circle that was in front of the crowd, and I think I did it better than him. And I pointed to him and I said, I got you. And then I went to Randolph, where I was living, and Matt used to go to the same school that I did.
Okay.
And I started dancing in the hallways, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And that's how that's how it all started.
Wow.
It's always that story.
Yeah,
man,
amazing story.
That's amazing, man.
So, but then, you know, real quickly, we went on. We met Lino. He had his own group. We were called the Top Master. Sorry,
No, it was
Master
MBT.
Breaking Team. Yep.
Master Breaking Team. Yep.
Master Breaking Team. And then he had the New York Puppeteers. And thank God I met Lino because, you know, he was a big factor in this group as well. And then we met Tron, and it just kept going down the line. We handpicked all the people that we wanted in this group. And I was the original president. Lino came in second and was actually the glue to this group. So I want to give him a lot of props to this because it was a tough time in the middle of this that he kept everything together. So I got to give him props. And then now Alex is the new president, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And
Wait, so which one is Alex?
That's my nephew. He's not here.
Okay.
He's at home. He's
El
got
Nino.
to do the presentation
All
tomorrow.
right, man. Well,
for the
shout out to
building.
Alex, man.
Yep.
But he's also the one who's on the USA team. Too.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Dope.
one of the best. Won numerous competitions around the world. He's like a world renowned, like b-boy, teaches, world travel. He's been around the world. Him and actually my son been around the world for like at least 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Around the world, just
Dope.
traveling, and they
Dope.
come straight from here.
So real quick, the other thing that was really good about it was we didn't know it. We used to pass the hat downtown Boston, and and I was like, we got to do something bigger, and I started breaking into the clubs and getting us the shows, and we started traveling. And Lino was like a sponge. He was just watching me the whole time. And he always was like, thank you so much for teaching me. But he took it to another level. So, you know, this is how family works. And we're still together to this day.
Absolutely.
And I want to interject and say, out of every Floor Lord member we had, Lino was always the most passionate.
Yes.
Ready to fight, passionate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank God that he was built the way he was built.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's been a pleasure having you, man. You know, I can see the passion in each one of you. Each one of you brings something different. And you know, there are times that I'm sure that, you know, when one falls short, another one will contribute to pick it up. And, you know, just using the different connections and resources to make different things happen. And I just want to say that today's interview would not have happened had it not been for
Reg.
I gotta look at his name on the screen. Air Flare.
Yeah.
AKA Boogie Down.
You
AKA
go down, baby.
Reg. So
Air Flare.
This happened because of him. So
We're proud of
you
him.
know,
Like,
I just
he knows-
like I said,
he knows
everybody
how proud I am.
everybody does, you know, contributes in their own way. You know, and he absolutely this got pulled together today. So one more time, tell us what you have coming up.
Right.
All right. So Friday we got the UMass Hip Hop Summit. It starts from noon to 6, and then later
How can
that,
people get tickets for that?
there's no tickets. It's free.
So
it's free to the
UMass
community.
UMass Boston.
Yep, UMass Boston.
Okay. What time?
That's from noon to 6 p.m. It's free to the community.
Okay. What part of UMass is there?
It's on the 3rd floor. It's our 34th anniversary, which will be in the same place. 43rd. Sorry about that. 43rd anniversary, which will be at the same place at Big Night Live, Studio B, and that will be our 34th anniversary. 43rd. You know, 43rd,
Yeah.
43rd anniversary, and that's from 3 to 9.
3 to 9.
On Instagram, actually on Instagram, Leansky / FLC or Floor Lords Boston.
Amen.
You know,
All right.
Floor Lords Boston.
All right.
Okay, and
There it is, y'all.
Yeah, one more. Also, we're part of the National Center for Race Amity. Basically, in other words, it's just relationships, race relationships and friendships is what it means.
Talk right into the mic.
Okay, we represented Rock Against Racism in the 80s.
Yep.
You know, because if you're from Boston, you know, and if you weren't from Boston, you knew how diverse it was
Absolutely.
back in the day. But from the start, we've embodied race amity when you look at how diverse we are in this room.
Yep.
From day one. So it was never a colored thing or, you know, this versus that.
Right.
You know, this is how it started. So
That's right.
And their event, I want to say, I believe is July
27th.
27th.
Yep.
At Faneuil Hall.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's another free event. So floor lords are all also on the card.
Your old stomping grounds, huh?
Yeah, back to where we started.
That's right.
Shout out to Dr. Smitty, National Center of Race Amity, and Jason, Kim V, and the rest of the gang too.
All right, y'all. There it is, the Floor Lords.
That's right, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Originated here in
Thank you.
Massachusetts. Originated here in Massachusetts and now worldwide. The Floor Lords. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to come and join us here on Inside the Ride.
Yes.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank y'all.
Yes, yes.